It is a fantastic Friday evening here on the farm. Perfect conditions for ACC baseball. Welcome to Klein Field at Sunken Diamond on the campus of Stanford University, where today it's the Stanford Cardinal versus the Clemson Tigers. Troy Clarity and Philip Hall here with you. Stanford feeling better about itself after taking 2 out of 3 on the road at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg last week. Clemson maybe kind of still trying to feel itself a little bit, got to a blazing start, but they have really struggled in league play. Clemson 2-7 in ACC action. That's 15th in league. Stanford, despite their success in Blacksburg last week, still just 3-6, 14th place in ACC action as today began. So, Philip, we head into this series between two very successful programs who still aren't quite where they wanted to be and expected to be at this point in the season.
Well, Troy, it just goes to show how top-heavy the ACC is this year. You know, to begin with, Clemson, led by their head coach and Eric Bakich, they've lost 7 of their last 10, dropping a tough one in a run rule against Wake Forest in their midweek matchup back on Wednesday. But there are a few bright spots for the Tigers coming into this one, especially on the offense. You think about players like Tristan McClatty, who had himself, a pretty good game last time out as he leads in almost all offensive categories for Clemson. So it's really going to have to come down on how are the bats going to come through for the Tigers in this one. Well, you think about Stanford, too. It's been the opposite when it comes to what they've done their last 10. They've won 7 of their last 10. Of course, they dropped a couple against Pitt, but they bounced back with a sweep of Utah Valley. And like you mentioned, they went 2 out of 3 against Virginia Tech on the road, which was a huge deal, especially when you think about the performance that Rentaro Sasaki had.
Yep.
And then even Teddy Tokheim, who took home some pretty noble accolades this week. ACC Co-Player of the Week, along with Caden Doolin out from Pitt. And he also landed himself on the watch list for Baseball America's midseason Freshman of the Year and was also named to Perfect Game's midseason Freshman All-American team. So it's really going to come down to how are the bats going to perform in this series. But pitching has been a struggle for both of the teams as well.
Yeah, especially for Stanford, a major struggle, especially from a starting standpoint. They're going to turn to a young man on the mound who's about to make his second career start. More on that in a moment. First, let's get you the starting batting order for the Clemson Tigers as the road team. It begins with Bryce Clavon leading off for the Tigers. Tristan McClatty is batting second, the team leader in many offensive categories for the Tigers. Nate Savoy bats third. Jacob Jarrell in the cleanup spot. Jack Crichton bats fifth. Luke Gaffney is the designated hitter. He is batting sixth. Had a bit of a late scratch situation. Jay Dillard came down ill and was just scratched from the lineup about 20 minutes or so ago. So Jason Foltz Jr. batting in Jay Dillard's place in the 7th spot. Ty Daly is batting 8th, and Tyler Lichtenberger rounds out the Clemson batting order. Your lefties are McClatty, Daly, and Lichtenberger, with Clemson hitting .292 as a team and in 8th place in the ACC. Cardinal taking the field as we speak. A look at the defensive order for the Cardinal, the defensive lineup for the Cardinal, rather. In the outfield from left to right, Court McDonald, Ethan Hott, and Tatum Marsh. Around the horn, J.J. Moran at third, Charlie Bates at short, Eric Gian is at second, the Ichirushu, Rentaro Sasaki at first, and Luke Lavin behind the dish playing catcher. And he'll be catching the starting pitcher for today for the Cardinal, Andrew Shaw, a young lefty, a freshman, 6'3", 201 pounds, out of Woodstock, Georgia. Shaw, no record as of yet, about to make his 10th appearance in the second start of the season, has a 3.86 ERA, 11 2/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 12 walks versus 3 strikeouts, but opposing batters hitting .319 against the youngster.
Yeah, well, for Andrew Shaw, Troy, coming from the state of Georgia, a lot of baseball talent's been coming out of there as of late. But Shaw is even with his stuff not being too overpowering, his deception when you look at his delivery, it can cause, hitters to try to adjust on where the release point's going to be. He's a guy that tops out probably in the low 90s with the fastball, but he can mix it in with some of his off-speed stuff. And I think for David Esker and this one, just knowing that Clemson has a a heavy lefty lineup when it comes to the hitters, this might be a strategy of him using Shaw as the opener, which, as we know, is kind of been unique over the last few years in baseball where, with Shaw being a usual relief pitcher coming out of the bullpen, this could be an idea that Esker wants to try out going against a Clemson team that hits pretty well.
Yeah, Shaw, in his only other start this year, it came last week in Blacksburg, the Sunday game, and he just opened up, just through the first inning, gave up a run. It was not earned, and did not factor in the decision. Beautiful day, 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. This is what you think about when you think about Northern California weather. Great to have you on board here with us on ACC Network Extra. Here at Sunken Diamond, and Bryce Clavon about to start things off for the Tigers, facing in against the lefty, Andrew Shaw. Shaw rocks and deals, and away we go. Inside out pitch, taken just shy of the warning track. Tatum Marsh makes the grab. One pitch, one out.
So Andrew Shaw, he loves to have that happen early. These Clemson hitters, watching them take batting practice earlier today, they have some power up and down the lineup. These guys, high caliber players that can launch the baseball to all fields.
Lefty versus lefty now with Tristan McClatty stepping in. McClatty, a junior from Harlem, Georgia. First pitch goes outside for ball one. McClatty slashing at 354, 448, 628. That batting average is a team high. Also leads the Tigers with 28 runs and 40 hits on the season. The 1-0. Off the fists, high in the air to the outfield, hot in center. Makes the grab in the shadows, 2 away.
And you get 2 fly ball outs. Solid go for Andrew Shaw to kind of move it down. And, of course, with him being the opener, I'm sure he wants to get these outs ASAP.
I'll bring up Nate Savoy, a sophomore from this part of the country, Newport Beach, California, even though that's Southern California, which is very different from Northern California. I have to explain that to a lot of folks. Transfer from Loyola Marymount. Shift is on as the infield shifts over to between the second base bag and third. Savoy hitting .348 on the year, 10 home runs and a team high 35 RBI. 1 ball, no strikes to Savoy. Off speed, misses upstairs, 2-0.
Those 35 RBIs that Savoy has on the year, puts him tied 9th in the conference. So, consider him to be a top 10 hitter when you think about what he produces at the plate.
The 2-0 from Shaw. Goes up, tags that one foul back. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Savoy well traveled from one part of the country, one coast, to nearly the East Coast, a couple hours away from the beach if you're in upstate South Carolina. 2 balls and 1 strike to Savoy. Shaw deals. Low and inside, 3-1 to Savoy.
For Savoy being a California kid, it's probably the closest he's been to home all season.
Yeah, Clemson doesn't come out this way very often.
Well, to note, for Clemson, this is actually their first road trip to Sunken Diamond since Stanford joined the ACC.
Yeah. Fouled off, count full to Savoy. Not much of a series history between these 2 squads. They did meet in Clemson last year, and the Tigers took 2 out of 3. Their first meeting was actually in the 1995 College World Series. Stanford knocked them out of Omaha that year. I'm sure Kyle Peterson may have had something to do with that. Shift still on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. But lefty Shaw deals. Off the fists again, sinking in center. Hot! Hot! Holy smoke, a sizzling grab by Ethan Hott. 3 up, 3 down, and Andrew Shaw getting help from his defense along the way. After a half inning, it's Clemson 0 and Stanford coming to bat. Let's get you the Stanford batting order right here and now. As Ethan Hott gets a nice little welcome back to the Stanford dugout. Stanford batting order from 1 through 9. Rintaro Sasaki leading off for the Cardinal. Teddy Tokheim, the co-ACC Player of the Week, the designated hitter. He's been swinging a hot bat of late, and he's hitting second. Charlie Bates bats third. J.J. Moran batting cleanup. Eric Gion in the starting 9 for Stanford. He's batting fifth. Court McDonald bats sixth. Tatum Marsh in the 7th spot. Luke Lavin batting 8th. And Ethan Hott, whom we just saw make a terrific grab to end the top half of the first, rounds out the Stanford batting order. Clemson defensively about to take the sunken diamond field. In the outfield from left to right for the Tigers, it's Nate Savoy, Bryce Clavon, and Ty Daly. Around the horn, Jason Foltz Jr. at third, Tyler Lichtenberger at short, Tristan McCladdy at second, Jack Crichton at first, Jacob Jarrell is behind the dish, and on the mound for the Tigers is Aiden Kanak Jr., 6'1", 215, out of Fort Myers, Florida. And Kanak establishing himself as the Tigers' ace. However, he's still looking for his first win of the season, about to make his 7th start of the year. An 0-3 record and a 4.72 ERA. 26 2/3 innings pitched, 25 hits, 19 runs, 14 of them earned, 44 strikeouts versus 12 walks with opposing batters, hitting .238 against Mr. Kanak.
Yeah, well, Aiden Kanak, who's a junior out of Fort Myers, Florida, and he's had a storied college career to date. You know, he took home Freshman Pitcher of the Year nationally in 2024, and then, you know, he backed that up with him being a 2-time first-team All-ACC selection. You know, this 0-3 winless start and just this being start number 7 for him on the season, it's a bit of a far cry from what he's produced for the Tigers as the Friday night starter.
Yep. Has at least 6 strikeouts in all 6 of his starts so far. Known most for his reliable and effective changeup. So Stanford coming to the plate here in the bottom of the first, and it begins with Rintaro Sasaki, a sophomore from Japan. Sasaki on the season, slashing .277, .444, and .638. Team high 9 home runs and 16 RBI. And he has fared well since moving into the leadoff spot in early March. Looks at strike one on the inside corner from Kanak. High and a little bit tight. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, well, for Sasaki, Troy, he had 2 home runs in that road trip out in Blacksburg.
And everyone's talking about the one that didn't count. Popped up foul.
Yeah, apparently for those that may not know, there was a viral photo that went live on the Stanford baseball social media where it was during batting practice in one of the games where Sasaki used a wooden bat and knocked a piece of the scoreboard at Virginia Tech's field.
Very high up on a very tall scoreboard, we might add.
Oh, yeah, it had height for sure.
A 1-2 from Kanak, fouled straight back. Good thing the screen was between us and the playing surface. If not, we'd be scrambling around here. Sasaki has scored a run in 9 straight games. A testament to him getting on base and guys knocking him in. Can Kanak keep Sasaki off base here? We'll have to wait and see. 2-2.
Sasaki, he's so ahead of his years when you think about the power plus the patience at the plate. You know, with home runs, runs scored, and walks. You know, he leads the team in walks with 27, tying him 6, or actually putting him 6 with no tie in the ACC right now.
Count goes full to Sasaki, who has walked a team high 27 times. The 3-2 pitch from Kanak. Lifted high, and making the stance underneath and just making the catch in fair territory. That was Tristan McCladdy, who had a long way to go from second. That ball was a moonshot.
And Clemson are fortunate that one stayed in the yard with how much elevation there was on a swing. We know Sasaki, he can lift the ball in all different directions.
And sometimes he doesn't even need to lift it, just sends lasers over the right field fence. Well, stop whatever you're doing and watch. Here's the co-ACC Player of the Week. It's Teddy Tokheim. Tokheim, a freshman from Seattle, currently on a 9-game hit streak, hitting .513 during that span. He's also reached in 19 straight. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Overall in the season, Tokheim, a team-high .413 batting average, also leads with a .506 slugging average and an .853 slugging percentage. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tokheim.
Yeah, Teddy, one of the top freshmen in the country right now. He's definitely been getting some notoriety across the nation.
Swings and misses as he offers at the changeup and doesn't connect. So 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
You know, we expect Aiden Canuck to come into this outing trying to mix up some stuff here against a Stanford line that's been seeing the ball very well. And, you know, with the 4.72 ERA to his name, it hasn't really been too much of a problem. You know, he's only allowed 19 runs on the season, 14 of them earned. It's just about trying to keep traffic off the base paths.
As Charlie Bates looks at a high pitch for ball 1. Bates, a sophomore from Palo Alto, California. Went to high school right across the street, Palo Alto High. Bates hitting .333 on the year. 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. Swings and misses at this one. Count evens out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming into this series, Clemson led the ACC in WHIP, 1.18, and also strikeouts to walks, at a 3.29 ratio. Cannot just misses, maybe a touch low and outside. Count goes to 2-1. And they were terrific as Clemson got off to a 15-1 start, and the pitching was a big part of that. But since they moved to ACC play, it's gotten much tougher from that standpoint. The team ERA has gone up over 2 runs since then. Team batting average has gone down 33 points, and the Tigers are just 4-10. Bates taps that one, stays alive, 2-2.
And for Eric Bakich, you know, of course, coming off a season last year where Clemson won 45 games and were knocked out in the regionals by Kentucky, you know, he said a lot when I talked to him before the game that the team wasn't really meeting the expectations.
And Canuck drops that one in. Gorgeous curve, freezes Bates, and retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, 1 inning in. Scoreless at Sunken Diamond on ACC Network Extra. Top of the second inning here on a gorgeous evening at Sunken Diamond. Clemson and Stanford, round 1 between these 2 teams, looking to move up in the ACC standings. Top second begins with Jacob Jarrell, senior from Florence, South Carolina. Jarrell hitting .253 on the year, a team-high .663 slugging percentage, and also a team-high 12 home runs. First pitch from Andrew Shaw is taken inside for ball 1. Shaw retiring the first 3 batters he faced quickly. Also got help from a superb diving grab in center by Ethan Hott to end the top half of the first. The 1-0. Low and inside, 2-0. Andrew Shaw from Woodstock, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Just hop on I-75 north, hop on I-575, and you'll get there. The 2-0. Inside, 3-0.
I guess when you get 3 fly ball outs, one of them being a play of flash, it gets you another inning out there on 1, 2, 3.
3-0 to Gerald. High strike call by home plate umpire Toby Basner, 3-1. Darren Hyman, by the way, the umpires, Darren Hyman at first, Christopher Gonzalez at second, and Greg Charles at third. The 3-1. Skied to left center, ranging over McDonald and Hott. Goes to McDonald's glove and left, 1 away.
It seems like Clemson's just trying to find a way to get the ball in the air. You know, with how early in the day it is here on the farm, the ball doesn't really have that much flight when they try to send it up. So, you know, understandably with Jacob Jarrell having the 4th most home runs in the ACC, trying to give it a go there.
Brings up Jack Crichton, senior from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Crichton looks at a high strike called. 0-1. Crichton on the year hitting .347 with no home runs and 14 RBI. No balls and 1 strike. And fouled off the fist, 0-2. So if you head off I-75 north out of Atlanta and you eventually get to Woodstock, Georgia, you head on I-85 north out of Atlanta. A couple hours, make a left on, I forget which highway that is, but you'll eventually end up in Clemson. I've made that drive before. It's not bad. The 0-2. Well outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now, Troy, you mentioning that, it puts into perspective how close the East Coast states are. And, you know, in the ACC, you know, these fans travel very well.
Yeah. Some orange and purple in the stands here. Chopper to Gian. And a quick throw over the first in time for the out. Gian, the second baseman, was right behind the bag. And there are 2 away here.
Yeah, a good shift being played there on Crichton. You know, just trying to protect that middle hole there and able to get a nice throw to first. And we mentioned with the change at second base, usually Jimmy Nadai would be getting the start, but, you know, David Esker giving Eric Gian a chance.
And Gian's earned it. First pitch inside for ball 1 to Luke Gaffney, a redshirt junior from Danville, Kentucky, and a transfer from Purdue. Gaffney hitting .290, 2 home runs and 19 RBI. Tails down low, 2-0 to Gaffney here at Sunken Diamond, one of the more scenic places to catch a ball game. 335 down the lines, 375 to the alleys, 400 to straightaway center. Outfield fence is 8 feet high. 2 balls, no strikes. Same pitch, same result, 3-0. Low and inside.
Yeah, Gaffney coming by way of Danville, Kentucky. During his time as a Boilermaker, he was a freshman All-American. So, you know, definitely a high-caliber player entering the portal, coming over to a program that's a perennial contender for regionals.
And after retiring the first 5 batters face, Shaw walks Gaffney on 4 pitches. Brings up Jason Foltz Jr. Got the late start today, replacing Jay Dillard, who is not playing in this game due to illness. Foltz, a freshman from Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania, but he finished his prep career in South Carolina. Foltz hitting .225 on the year, no home runs and 3 RBI. And the Kathy Wolf assistant coach in charge of pitching, Thomas Eager, is coming out to the mound. There has been action in the bullpen for Stanford throughout this frame. And there might be a change afoot here. Eager looks, points to the bullpen. And after going an inning and 2/3, Andrew Shaw's afternoon/evening is done. New pitcher coming in for the Cardinal. We'll tell you about him in just a moment as Andrew Shaw comes off. Scoreless, 2 out and 1 on in the top of the second. Here at Sunken Diamond, top of the second inning with 2 out and 1 on, and the Cardinal already turning to their second pitcher of the day. His name is Cassius Thomas, a senior from LA and a transfer from Duke. Thomas about to make his 13th appearance of the year, a 1-1 record, and a 4.63 ERA, 11 2/3, 13 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 10 walks versus 6 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .238 against Thomas, who can throw with velocity. Where is the ball going to eventually end up? That's a bit of a question mark. But Thomas certainly can get the ball to the plate in a big-time hurry. And with the Mary Jane Girls as his warm-up music, I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah, definitely a kid that I would say grew up in a good household when it came to music taste. But, yeah, Cassius Thomas, he's going to be a guy that's going to work the plate. Has ERA close to like a high 4 right now, but with this being an early game, it's going to give him a chance to try to keep these Clemson bats calm. And we saw how impressive Andrew Shaw was to open up, so David Esker's going to be using the bullpen tonight from what we see.
Starting pitching has been very much an issue for Stanford all season long. They've already used 9 different ones this season, and all throughout various parts of the day. Usually you have your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starters, and those 3 guys generally tend to be set. That's not been the case for Stanford at all. Fultz cranks this one. First pitch into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back batters reach for the Tigers as Fultz is on board.
Yeah, not the start that Thomas was hoping for coming fresh out of the chute. Jason Fultz, of a seeing eye single going into left field. And, as the trend continues, these Clemson hitters, they're hitting early in the count. So they want to jump early on the Stanford pitchers.
I'll bring up Ty Dally. We've hit that part of the day where the mound is in sun and the home plate area is in shade. As Dally stands in against the righty Cassius Thomas and fouls that one off the screen. Dally, a senior from Vidalia, Georgia, a transfer from Mercer, where he was 3-time All-Southern Conference. Dally, so far 2 home runs, 17 RBI this year. He's hitting .236. No balls and 1 strike. Fouled off. Dally down in the count quickly, 0-2. Eric Bakich, the 4th-year head coach of Clemson, was looking to upgrade his offense a bit. Made a couple moves in the portal. Had some players coming back, but by and large, it hasn't necessarily panned out for him due to injury and due to ineffectiveness. The 0-2. Hit on the ground and over a hopping Gaffney as he rounds third and will take home easily. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. Ty Daly with the first tally of the game, and it goes in favor of the Tigers.
Yeah, well, Ty Daly getting his 18th RBI on the season with that hit, and, you know, they always say hit them where they aren't. Yep. And, you know, he was able to beat the shift there that the Stanford infield were putting on. They were more heavy on the right side than they were on the left.
Bottom of the order is Tyler Lichtenberger, the sophomore from Boca Raton. Transfer from Appalachian State, hitting .232 with 1 home run and 16 RBI on the year. Has struck out a team high 23 times. First pitch fastball misses outside for ball 1. Thomas pitched for Duke in the 23 season, but did not face Clemson then. He did face Clemson the last year on April 11th. As Lichtenberger goes around 1-1. Harris threw 2/3 of a scoreless inning there, walked 1 and struck out 1. Runners at the corners and 2 out. Clemson's already pushed 1 across. That one's pumped right down El Camino, 1-2.
It was a good pitch to throw, especially, you know, you give him the fastball high and in, then you go in the middle, kind of psych him out. You know, Lichtenberger, you know, him being not so much an experienced hitter, even with him being the Sun Belt Freshman of the Year award winner at Appalachian State, you know, he still has a lot to learn early in his collegiate career.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And time call. Close the book on Andrew Shaw, by the way. 1 2/3, no hits, 1 run it was earned, and 1 walk. The 1-2. Well inside, 2-2.
Just got a little bit of way there. You know, Thomas can throw straight heat from the mound. Fastball at 94.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off opposite field. Heading towards the batting cages. Off in that direction. Count stays at 2-2.
Over Lichtenberger, he was always known to find a way to get on base. In his first 34 collegiate games, he reached base.
It's not bad. Changing speeds, but just missing the target. Count goes full to Lichtenberger. Last 3 batters have reached for Clemson. Walk, single, and single, all with 2 out. And now the count full to Lichtenberger. Thomas ready, the pitch. Fastball inside, and now the bases are loaded. Back to the top of the order we go with Bryce Clavon.
Yeah, it's one of those at-bats where you kind of have to tip your hat to the hitter. You know, Lichtenberger was able to go deep against Thomas, and, you know, he was able to win the duel against him. Just, you know, knowing it's that competition that you have to bring when it comes to facing, you know, a guy that's going to bring high average at the bottom of the order. Whereas Lichtenberger not doing that this season, but still an effective hitter at the plate.
So Clavon, the Tigers' leadoff hitter, after flying out to right on the very first pitch of the game, back at the plate. Bases are loaded. And Clavon takes that one, goes over for a called strike 1. Jason Fultz Jr. at third, Ty Daly at second, Lichtenberger at first. There's Daly there, bottom right of your screen. The 0-1. Heading to right field. Back is Marsh. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. But Clemson strikes first. An RBI single by Ty Daly gives Clemson a 1-0 lead. Bottom second coming up in just a moment here on ACC Network Extra. Clemson with a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second inning. First game of this three-game set between Clemson and Stanford. Great to have you on board with us here on ACC Network Extra on a fantastic Friday evening in Northern California. Cardinal went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first inning, so that means we begin the bottom second with the cleanup hitter, J.J. Moran, a sophomore from San Diego. Facing Aiden Kanak. He needed just 17 pitches to get through the first inning. Kanak drops the curve in there for called strike one. Moran hitting .323 with 5 home runs and 20 RBI. Has been hit by a team high 6 pitches. That one's dropped in there as well. Maybe tails and catches the outside corner. 0-2 to J.J. Moran. Had a 12-game hit streak earlier this season. The 0-2. Popped up straight back and well out of play as that ball sails over the entryway behind home plate here at Sunken Diamond. Played a lot of baseball here over the years. None of it has featured the Clemson Tigers in the opposite dugout until tonight. The 0-2. Tapped on a couple of hops to Lichtenberger at short. High throw handled by Crichton. Good thing he's 6'3", one gone.
Perks of having a tall first baseman. A nice play. They're playing deep in the hole by Lichtenberger. Whereas they had the shift on J.J. Moran that time on the left side of the field.
And brings up Eric Gian. Gianna Jr. from Fullerton, California, but a transfer from Columbia. He was actually all Ivy League second team in 2024. Gian doing good things for Stanford so far this season. As he takes a fastball. That goes over for a called strike one. Gian hitting .360 on the year with 6 home runs and 13 driven in. No balls and 1 strike. Tagged high to right field. Daly has a long way to go. Still arranging over and makes the catch. 2 gone.
Yeah, losing the cap to run that ball down, showing off the flow there. You know, again, these defensive alignments that Eric Bakich is calling from the dugout. You know, he's making these Tiger fielders move around out there.
Brings up Court McDonald. Senior from Arlington, Texas. McDonald hitting .371 on the year with 1 home run and 4 RBI. Change high and a little bit outside as well to McDonald for ball one. Stanford took 2 of 3 against Virginia Tech last week, a much-needed result for the Cardinal.
Absolutely, and you just think about the standings in the ACC right now. You know, Virginia Tech falling to 5 and 7 after that series. Stanford, you know, picking up, you know, those a couple of wins that they definitely needed. You know, it's kind of kept the parity active across the ACC.
2-1 to McDonald. Waves at it, doesn't connect. 2-2. Yet, that being said, Stanford still in 14th place at the opening of business today here in the ACC. Clemson a game back and in 15th place. The 2-2. Shot right past short and into left field for a base hit. McDonald kind of fought that one off and sent it into left field.
It just looked like it was a pitch just middle and away, but you know, was able to, again, beat that shift, and you know, it was actually hit past the third baseman, Fultz Jr., you know, trying to dive for it.
So here's Tatum Marsh. Marsh ready, swings and misses on the fastball. 0-1. Marsh hitting .219. No home runs and 2 RBI. Freshman from San Jose, Valley Christian. A school that's been very good to Stanford over the years. 1 ball and 1 strike to Marsh.
And you know, you also think about the package deal. His brother Quentin,
yep,
coming from the Valley Christian as well.
One ball and 1 strike with 1 on and 2 outs. Drops the curve in there again, 1-2. Marsh led Stanford last year with a .377 batting average. Also a .459 on-base percentage. Bit tougher for him so far this year. The 1-2. And that got him. So Canuck loses March on a 2-strike pitch. And now there are 2 on. Stanford trying to answer Clemson's 2-out run-scoring rally in the top of the second with 1 of its own.
Yeah, last pitch just kind of clipped the jersey of March there, but I'm sure he'll take it and wear it like a fashion model. You know, Stanford, they just need base runners right now, and, you know, it only takes 1 hit to really turn this game around.
Yep. Going to get a visit on the mound here as Clemson trying to figure out a way to keep Stanford off the board here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, coming into this series, Clemson, a team staff ERA of 4.15, still 4th best in the ACC. And overall, their numbers still look terrific when compared with the rest of the league. But when you look at what the Tigers have actually done in the league, less impressive. As their team ERA in ACC action is 6.49, as they've really struggled.
Well, you just think about how the ACC is. It's a high-scoring conference. When you think about the landscape of college baseball, only 3 teams in the conference as a whole has a team ERA under 4.
Yeah.
You know, that being Florida State, Boston College, North Carolina. But then again, those are the teams currently running at the top right now.
Here's Luke Lavin, a junior from Laguna Beach. Lavin hitting .253 with 4 home runs and 16 RBI. Count evens out 1 ball and 1 strike. And oh, by the way, it certainly didn't help Clemson's cause that they had to face Georgia Tech in their first ACC series. Yellow Jackets can mash a bit this year. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Lavin.
Yeah, you talk about murderer's row in college baseball. Georgia Tech is just that.
2 on, 2 out, the 2-1. High strike called by Toby Basner, 2-2.
And even Stanford, too, like their first ACC home series came against Pitt, who had at the time one of the most dangerous hitters in their lineup in Lorenzo Carrier.
Inside, count full. Carrier just destroyed San Jose State about a month ago, put up absolutely boffo numbers. Stuff that you look at and you go, wow, is that a typo? He went like 18 of 20 that weekend? Payoff pitch on the way with 2 on and 2 out. Tapped foul. Mighty cut by Lavin, but just a bit in front of it.
I think Lavin might have swung at ball 4 there. You know, that pitch from Canuck was high up in the zone, not really the heat zone of Lavin when it comes to his hitting prowess. Doesn't really go for a lot of pitches that at the letters.
We do it again, the 3-2. Got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Lavin waves at Canucks change, and Stanford leaves 2 aboard. 2 innings in, and Clemson has a 1-0 lead here on ACC Network Extra. Top of the third about to unfold here between Stanford and Clemson. Tiger is about to bring the 2, 3, 4 batters up in this frame. Great to have you with us. Troy Clarity here and Philip Hall there. He's got the call of the third and the fourth innings.
All right, well, McClatty, Savoy, and Gerald due up as Clemson holding a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. Cassius Thomas still back out on the rubber. Interesting, McClatty, who flew out to center field his last time up. Try to keep the Tigers at bay and probably try to add on to a lead for Aiden Canuck. Already the shift back in motion for the Stanford infield. First pitch from Thomas. Able to get McClatty swinging and missing at that one.
J.J. Moran just ahead of the bag at third. He's the only infielder between second and third.
Thomas is 0-1. That one's hit foul out of play. Now you think about the history of Clemson, Troy. This is a program that has over 2,500 victories all time with 12 trips to Omaha. Oh, 2 hit foul down the first baseline.
That's not bad, is it?
I mean, it's impressive all across. And you add that in with, you know, just the number of players that have came out of Clemson wearing the Tiger uniform in their collegiate careers. McClatty fouls it again, you know, some of which currently in the majors at the moment. You know, most notable one being Justin Robleski, who's a reliever right now for the LA Dodgers, coming off a World Series title. Pitched in innings 3 and 4 in that very pivotal Game 7. Bounce to the first. Sasaki plays it close to the line, gets the toss to Thomas, and 1 away.
Communication key, hustle also a key when you're trying to pull off a play like that. And Sasaki had it all the way, and Thomas was right there with them step for step.
And the race to the bag as well. McClatty, trying to turn on the Jets out of the left-handed batter's box that time. Now here's Nate Savoy. Thomas hitting the corner for strike 1.
And doing so at 94 miles an hour as well.
They call that being an artist on the mound. Guy that can throw heat and hit the corners at the same time. Oh, man, pitching coaches love that.
Yeah, again, the velocity with Cassius Thomas has not been the issue during his stay here at Stanford. The control, the command, that's been hit or miss.
Savoy back up the middle, but they have to shift on. Throw on the first in time, 2 away.
Yeah, and that was well sized up by Eric Gian as this ball, as you'll watch here, actually hits the mound and takes a bit of a funny hop on its way to Gian. But coolly, calmly, hangs in there and makes the throw.
I'm sure, of course, with us knowing how dominant the ACC is when it comes to pro talent, these guys are probably like, man, I can't wait to get to the majors so I don't have to deal with these shifts. That was Jacob Jarrell. 0 for 1. Flew out to left field. Thomas trying to go inside, but misses just a little bit too much in. Stanford sticking with that shift on the left side of the infield. 3 infielders taking up most of left center. Oh, and trying to keep it up and throw it on the first across the diamond is late. Moran just couldn't grasp the line drive firmly.
Yeah, had everything there, and by all accounts, that's a much closer play than it had any real right to be. But as it is, it's the third base hit of the day so far for the Tigers.
Yeah, not able to corral it. The ball wasn't really hit that hard off the bat of Jarrell. Crichton taking ball 1 high. He grounded out to second in the second inning. Let's hit high to the right. They go foul behind the seats.
Crowd filled in here a bit here at Sunken.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight. I mean, 6 o'clock starts, traffic is a thing around these parts, so a little bit tough perhaps to make the first pitch, but filled in a bit nice, bit nicely here. Perfect evening for it, too.
Crichton fouls off the 1-1. Well, where else would you want to be on a Friday night? Oracle Park?
Some people would say where I was about 3.5 hours ago. Las Vegas.
Yeah, fresh off the plane.
Yeah. Got here about 3:30, walked in the park around 4:45.
Thomas, 1-2 to Crichton. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as that will end the inning. Clemson only able to get one on via hit, but nothing doing in the top half of the third. We'll go to the bottom half. It will be Hot, Sasaki, and Tokheim due up for the Cardinal. Bottom of the third here at Sunken Diamond. Clemson up 1-0 here on the series opener of what should be a dandy of a weekend series. It's Philip Hall on the call alongside with Troy Clardy. This is going to be Ethan Hott, who made a stellar defensive play in center field at the start of the ball game, Troy.
Prevented perhaps extra bases for Nate Savoy to end the first, the top half of the first, rather.
Hott not wasting any time at the plate. Fouls off the first pitch of the inning from Canuck. Hott hitting .340 in 19 games on the season. Trying to catch up to that fastball from Canuck. As we look back at that play that he made in center field, just full extension on the dive. This for ball one.
Hott's reached in 9 straight games. You like to see that from your 9-hitter.
The 1-2 from Canuck. Oh, breaking ball as Hott gets handed the backwards K. One down as Stanford will go back to the top of the order for Rentaro Sasaki.
Fourth strikeout of the day so far for Canuck, and when he's able to drop that curve in there, and we've seen that get called for strikes, and now we've seen it get called for a punch-out pitch twice, once on Charlie Bates, and this one on Ethan Hott. That's gorgeous stuff.
Sasaki, who's a very disciplined hitter, comes up for the second time tonight. He popped out the second base.
Of course, it was one of those shifts, right, where he popped out to second base, but the ball was actually hit pretty much down the right field line.
I was on a game once with Dr. Joaquin Wallace, and he trademarked the Sasaki shift. Tried to beat it there, but just foul down first.
Yeah, and if you're standing on that side of the plate, you better be ready, especially if you're on the infield, because those exit speed there at 96 miles an hour, that's not bad.
The 1-2 missed in and away to the backstop. Count now even at 2 apiece for Sasaki.
Of course, the much ballyhooed freshman last year. Many of you might know his story. Japan's all-time high school home run champion. Decided to come to the States and play college ball.
Oh, called strike 3 Sasaki goes down looking. Canuck now gets not only his 5th strikeout of the game, but the 3rd strikeout tonight to go down looking.
Well, and the first strikeout looking that he's issued here with the fastball. As now we might have Cardinal batters kind of guessing there a little bit. High strike 3 called, and it works.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the consistency from Aiden Canuck in this one. Teddy Tokheim looking to change that. He takes ball 1. Tokheim was a strikeout victim in the 1st inning.
So by my count, which is unofficial, one time through the order, Canuck with 4 first pitch strikes.
The 1-1 is hit the left field. Tokheim able to extend the hit streak to 10 games now with the 2-out single.
Teddy Ballgame strikes again. Watch this swing. That's a thing of beauty. Just kind of knifes it into left field. And Tokheim, the freshman, who has really gained momentum and started to tear things up at the plate of late. And oh, by the way, he's now reached in 20 straight ball games.
Well, Charlie Bates, we try to keep the inning going for the Cardinal. First pitch popped up close to the Clemson dugout. He's going to land right inside and grab a seat.
In case you've never watched a ball game here at Sunken Diamond before, probably the defining characteristic of this place is the ample foul room behind the plate and down both lines as well. You've got a lot of rooms. That means defensively you've got to be heads up and be willing to give chase on balls that you might normally think might be out of play.
Oh, Bates able to be on time on that one. That one is sent out to deep center field. Oh, and dropping it just in front of the wall is Clavon. That's going to allow Tokheim to come in and score. And Bates gets into 3rd with a slide. Defensive miscue in center field by Bryce Clavon gives Stanford the tie.
Well, he just straight dropped it as we get an even closer look at it. And maybe that slight hop back when he went from the grass to the track and the dirt of the track may have kind of thrown him off just a little bit. Good throw to 3rd to try to get Bates over there, but to no avail. And the Cardinal taking advantage of a Clemson miscue.
Yeah, well, not only does that tie the game for Stanford, but it allows Bates to be the go-ahead run at 3rd with J.J. Moran now coming up. Moran not wasting time, sends it down the left field line, see who's going to get it. And it looks like it's going to be Savoy. He'll make the catch, as that will be the inning. But Stanford able to tie the game up on the F8, committed out in center field by Bryce Clavon, as we go to the 4th, 1-1 here at Sunken Diamond. Tie game now here in the top of the fourth. David Esker will go to his third arm on the night, and it will be regular starter Nick Dugan who will be coming in here middle of the game. So, a bit of an interesting move here by David Esker to bring out a starter after he opened up with 2 relievers.
Well, you're trying to do as much as you can when pitching has been a bit of a struggle for Stanford. As it has, you try to mix and match and put guys in different roles. Dugan did start in his first 5 appearances of the year, but has come out of the pen now for his last 3. And here he comes in relief once again after Thomas settled down a bit, and Andrew Shaw, for the most part, performed well to start for the Stanford Cardinals.
I was going to see Luke Gaffney, who will be leading off for the Tigers. Gaffney, who walked and came around to score in the second inning. This will be his second plate appearance on the evening. If we're just tuning in, this game is now tied after Bryce Clavon dropped the ball in center field on a fly ball that could have ended the inning, keeping Stanford off the board, but much different story. We're now tied as Gaffney getting hit by the pitch to lead off the inning.
Dugan, by the way, with a 1-2 record and a 7.63 ERA, has thrown 30 2/3, 29 strikeouts and 11 walks, and has now hit 2 batters on the season. Opposing batters hitting .341 against the senior from Eureka, California.
Yeah, Dugan has been getting knocked around a little bit here this season. Jason Foltz Jr. taking ball 1. Foltz Jr. reached on a single in the second inning. Stanford with the shift, trying to set up for the double play chance. Dugan still needs to throw a strike for it to happen.
Eureka, California. They call the Bay Area Northern California. Eureka's about as far Northern California as you can get without crossing over the state line, and even that's about, what, like a 5-hour drive from here?
Little geography lesson for the Clemson fans who might be watching from South Carolina tonight. Dugan behind at 3-0. See if Bakich will give him the green light. Put in for strike 1 with the fastball there. Dugan with a 7.63 ERA coming into this appearance. Foltz Jr. goes around on the swing, so he works it back to a full count here.
Yeah, Dugan did not face Clemson last year in that 3-game series back in mid-April.
Here's the payoff. Swung on, foul. Wait a minute here. We're seeing our second base umpire, Christopher Gonzalez, motion over to the Clemson dugout. Not really sure what the commotion was. We do resume the play. Payoff pitch coming up again. Foltz Jr. able to work the walk. Now it's first and second for the Tigers.
Well, and so far in this game, it's been the bottom 4 batters in the order who have gotten on base. Gaffney with the walk later came around to score in the second. Gaffney got hit by a pitch to begin this frame, and Foltz singled and now just walked. And then later on, you've got Daly and Lichtenberger, who each got on base. Daly with an RBI single. So it's been the bottom of the order that has given Clemson rather a bit of trouble.
Now Eric Bakich is going to call time and call in his hitter and base runners. Yeah, Ty Dowley, who delivered with that RBI single in the second inning to give Clemson the 1-0 lead to open up the game, has a chance to now put Clemson back in front with one swing.
Kind of a tough week for Eric Dakich is during the course of his team getting run ruled against Wake Forest in a non-conference game in Charlotte on Wednesday. Dakich got tossed. He was trying to argue that one of his pitchers got called for a pitch clock violation, and he was trying to argue otherwise, and maybe he said something he probably shouldn't have, but Dakich got run from the game. And it's kind of been part and parcel, unfortunately, for Clemson of how things have gone for the Tigers over the last 3 weeks. A little bit of buzzard luck at times. Can't kill nothing, won't nothing die.
And, you know, for Clemson fans, it's very uncommon to see the Tigers play the way that they've been playing over the last couple of weeks. Trying to put the bunt down is Dowley, but he fouls it off.
Now Clemson is shorthanded, right? They're missing a couple of key folks. Colin Priest, a big bat from last year, who terrorized Stanford, driving in 7 runs and knocking one in against the Cardinal last season. Has not played so far this season with a bum hamstring. And a couple other guys have been missing as well.
Alley ground ball to second off the glove of Gian, goes in to right center field. It's going to be enough for Gaffney to score from second, and Clemson are back in the lead. Ty Dowley with the sequel on the RBI single.
Yeah, and that ball hit hard enough that even if Gian had been able to come up with it, might have been best served just eating the ball and just letting perhaps the run score, but so that probably was going to be a go-ahead base hit no matter what. For Ty Dowley, who's 2 for 2 with 2 driven in so far.
Lichtenberg bunting it down the third base line, but he'll go foul. Yeah, just station-to-station baseball being played at the bottom of the order. Tyler Lichtenberger was able to walk his first plate appearance. I mean, Nick Dugan has yet to record an out. Lichtenberger showing bunt, but had to pull it back. The corner infield playing in for Stanford. Moran and Sasaki playing to the edge. They say that Lichtenberger didn't pull back in time, so it's strike 2.
Mike Ersbaumer, a lefty freshman, is warming up in the Stanford bullpen.
And a bunt with 2 strikes is Lichtenberger, but he misses it, and he's down for the first out. Interesting call there. Try to go for the bunt with 2 strikes.
Yeah. And certainly not exactly how you draw it up. However, you go back to the top of the order.
And if there was ever a chance for Bryce Clavon to turn around his night, this would be it. He's flown out twice to right field. He committed an error in center field, which gave Stanford the tie before Clemson took the lead back. Dugan keeping a close eye on Fultz Jr. at second. They'll make another move. Trying to work with Eric Gion over there. And now Luke Lavin's going to call in the infield.
Perhaps buying a little more time for Ersbaumer to continue to warm up. Well, and here you see what it has looked like for Stanford pitching-wise, unfortunately for the Cardinal. for much of the season, giving up hits, giving up walks, hitting batters, and it coming around to bite them at the end of it all. It looks like this is going to be the end for Nick Dugan here.
Looks like they will be making the call to the pin. As a Dugan will get the hook, and Erzbomber will be coming out for the Cardinal to try to keep this a one-run game, as they'll come in with runners at first and second with one out. We're going to see what the southpaw lefty reliever can do for Stanford. So we'll take a break here at Sunken Diamond. It's going to be Mike Erzbomber coming out for Stanford, trying to keep this within one. He's going to see Bryce Clavon, who comes up with one out. Clavon, as mentioned, has flown out to right field. Tatum Marsh keeping him honest at the plate. He's done that twice in this game. He looks at ball one from Erzbomber.
Erzbomber's 11th appearance of the year, an 0-1 record, and an ERA of 7.15. Does have a save to his credit.
1-0, able to get the fastball across for a strike.
Has a whip of 2.21. Of course, whip is walks plus hits per inning pitched.
Delivered a good pitch in. Didn't get Clavon the bite, though.
And Stanford last year, as a team, had a whip of 1.68. That was highest in the ACC. Coming into the day, the team whip, 1.91.
Erzbomber tried to go to the same place, but there's a hitter's count in favor for Clavon.
And how has Clemson gotten on base so far in this frame? Walk, hit, also hit batter as well. So far they pushed one across.
Count goes full. Well, now it becomes a dual battle. This will be a big out for Erzbomber to get with Tristan McClatty waiting on deck. Payoff fouled.
Erzbomber, a freshman from San Clemente, California. Gorgeous part of the state.
3-2, missed for ball 4. It's the second base on balls earned for Clemson in this inning, so it loads the bases for Tristan McClatty.
I was about to say, are walks earned or given? I guess it depends on the context, though. Sometimes you can coax a walk, have a great at-bat, and sometimes you just stand there and the pitcher just misses on all 4.
Well, these Clemson hitters have been disciplined all night, and it goes to show the control problem Stanford has been having on the season. McClatty looks at strike 1.
Yeah, that was some filthy break on that one.
McClatty's 0 for 2. Owens bounce over to short. They're only going to get 1, and they will. A little bit too much of a chance for a double play there. But Foles Jr. does come in, so it's productive out for McClatty to make it a 3-1 Clemson lead. A 2 away, Nate Savoy.
Shift on once again, this time to the left side of the infield. I'm struggling to think of a time where I've looked up and seen a traditional alignment defensively here tonight on either side, really.
Yeah, shift heavy. Stanford has been against Clemson. Swung on to a fouled by Savoy. Goes to 0-2. Earthbomber trying to look for the punch out. Foul ball, Savoy with an extra life.
Earthbomber puts a little oomph into his pitches. You can hear the grunt that he emits from the mound up here in the press box.
They say that as a pitcher, if you grunt, it has a little bit extra miles per hour on your fastball.
Okay, great. Does it add a little extra command as well?
It depends on who you ask. They said Nolan Ryan, when he pitched, he always grunted after every pitch, or even like you go to the modern day, Max Scherzer, known for his loud grunts you can hear on a broadcast.
Was this a tennis match?
0-2, ground ball to Bates, deep in the hole, but gets the throw to Sasaki to get Savoy. Clemson bring 2 across to get the lead back. 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Take one more look at Charlie Bates showing off the fielding prowess. Eric Dion will lead off for the Cardinal here in the bottom of the fourth after Clemson were able to get 2 runs on the board and get the lead back. So we're going to show how this game has been moving, but for Eric Dion, who flew out to right, looking to try to set the tone here. Aiden Canuck going off speed with the first pitch. So another week and more college baseball, Troy, giving you some scores across the ACC tonight. Florida State, number 7 in the country, able to get a 5-2 win over number 10 Virginia.
So that series evened up at 1 game apiece. That the marquee series around the conference this week. Florida State number 7, Virginia number 10 in the polls.
Dion fouls off the 1-1 pitch. Then you also had Wake Forest taking the series opening win against Pitt, winning 8-2. And you also had another top 25 matchup in the conference with North Carolina at number 6, opening up against Boston College at number 22. They won 5-2 to even that series. That was 2-2 for Dion at the plate.
Yeah, how about BC?
Yeah.
Off to an 8-4 start in league, in 4th place as the day began.
Yeah, they definitely been the surprise of the ACC this year. 2-2 from Canuck, missed outside, count goes full. You also had North Carolina State beating Notre Dame 7-3 in Raleigh. North Carolina State going to try to go for the sweep tomorrow, up 2-0 in that series. And Duke able to outlast Louisville, winning 10-8. Dion sends it in the right field, gets underneath the glove of Crichton. A leadoff single for Eric Dion, and that is something that Stanford fans have been enjoying seeing, Troy. Eric Dion, in my opinion, has played his way into the starting lineup.
Yeah, he certainly gained momentum over the last couple of weeks. I'm somewhat surprised that Canuck didn't go with the curve. That has been his most effective punch-out pitch so far this evening. But Dion said, okay, you're not going to throw me that curve? All right, I'll just put it and just place it just under Jack Crichton's glove and get on base with the leadoff hit.
Court McDonald, who singled his last time up in the second, pulls back the bunt attempt. Oh, look at strike 1. And if Virginia Tech didn't already have it rough losing 2 out of 3 against Stanford, get this, Troy, they lost tonight to Miami 19-1.
Woof.
Yeah, so a laugher down in Coral Gables.
Unless you're Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
Nothing funny about that.
Yeah, the Hokies aren't laughing after that performance for sure. Check swing. McDonald went around on the pitch.
What, the Hurricanes bring machetes to that game or something?
I don't know. Knocks 0-2. He's fouled off. Just going to go just behind the Clemson dugout into the stands. And across the bay, of course, Georgia Tech up 7-1 on California. That game in the bottom of the 4th currently. So there's your ACC After Dark update. Pitch inside for ball 1 on the fastball.
Come with the fastball there on that 2-strike pitch. Topped out at 91 there.
Donald swung on and missed. A nice pitch delivered there by Aiden Canuck, and he continues to deliver against the Stanford lineup.
Strikeout number 6 for Canuck, so that means he now has dealt at least 6 strikeouts in every start that he has made this season.
And he still doesn't have a win to his name.
No.
You think about it.
No. Just got out-dueled on a few Friday nights earlier in the season.
Tatum Marsh, slow roller to second. Picked up there by McClatty. He'll get the out at first. They'll move Gian over to second base. No chance for the double play. Luke Lavin hoping to redeem himself as he struck out against Canuck his last time up in the second. On the ball missed low. So a bit of an odd defensive alignment here by the infield. You got McClatty playing out in shallow right on the outfield grass. And over at third base, Fultz Jr. playing in on the corner.
At least you've got two infielders on each side, on each side of the bag. We haven't seen that a whole lot so far this evening. There's that curve.
Yeah, Drew Lavin off balance there.
Well, Canuck dealt 92 on the strikeout fastball to Court McDonald. That pitch went 76. And he comes back and deals 92 on the inside corner here.
Yeah, just a little bit off the dish. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, folks, there is no ABS in college.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, that's for sure.
Give it a few years.
The 3-1. That one's high and ball four. Lavin able to work the free pass this time around.
And Canuck with a 44-12 strikeout to walk ratio coming into today, so pretty serviceable ratio there, and he's improved on that so far here today. Just his first walk of the evening versus 6 strikeouts.
There's going to be a mound visit here, and no action happening right now in the Clemson bullpen.
Yeah, I think maybe just to settle Canuck down just a bit, because it seems like he's become more of a thrower in this frame than a pitcher, hitting his spots. I mean, he's changed speeds well. We've seen it a little bit at times throughout the course of the bottom half of the 4th inning, but I don't think quite to the degree of consistency with which he threw the first 3 innings.
You know, his pitch count is up to 71 right now, and 50 of those pitches have been strikes. So it's not like control's the issue right now. It's just, you know, when he has traffic on the base paths, how is he going to work his way out of it? Well, if you were listening to It's Getting Hot in Here, it can only mean one thing: Ethan Hot. So he'll come up with 2 outs. They'll look at ball 1 inside. Hot struck out looking in his last AB. One 0 missed out of the zone. Canuck now down 3-0, way behind against Ethan Hot.
And a reminder that Rentaro Sasaki is on deck.
And if Hot is able to reach, it's going to load the bases for the Cardinal. Canuck able to get it in for a strike there with the fastball. Only imagine what the heart rate could be right now for Canuck, needing to get this out. 3-1 line right at first. And with the hands of an arrow catcher, Jack Crichton able to end the inning on the line drive hit. Well, Stanford not able to get anything across there. A nice play over there at first base. Clemson keeping it a 2-run lead going to the 5th. Here we are in the top of the fifth as Clemson holding the 3-1 lead, as I will throw it back to Troy Clardy.
Thank you, Philip Hall. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Clemson. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for Stanford. Jacob Jarrell at the plate. Swings and misses at the first pitch that he sees from Mike Erspamer, the 4th different pitcher for Stanford here tonight. Start with Andrew Shaw, who went 1 2/3. Cassius Thomas with 1 1/3. Nick Dugan retired just 1 of the 4 batters that he faced. And now here's Erspamer facing Jacob Jarrell, and about to deal the 1-1 pitch. Well outside, 2-1. Game 2 of this series tomorrow. First pitch will be at 2:05 p.m. Pacific time, 5:05 p.m. Eastern time for our friends watching on that side of the country. Fouled back 2-2. Game 1, check that. Game 3 on Easter Sunday. Easy for me to say. Will be on 1:05 p.m. The first pitch Pacific time, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Erspamer took a little something off of that one, and Jarrell just mistimed it a bit, got in front of it.
And he was way out in front of it, but Jarrell, the power he possesses, he could get around on just about anything.
And he hammered a 2-run shot against Stanford April 11th of last year. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jarrell. Got him. Jarrell chased and didn't connect. Strike 3.
Erspamer delivered the breaking ball there. Get one more look at it. And just had him chasing outside, and that late break really comes into effect, especially out of the hands of a lefty.
Brings up Jack Crichton. Ground out in the strikeout so far today. Pitch well high for ball 1. It's a bit of a homecoming of sorts for Clemson head coach Eric Bakich, as he was born in San Jose, about 15 miles down the road from where we are right now. Proud graduate of Bellarmine Prep down in the South Bay, class of '96. Curve dropped in there. County's out 1-1, and began his collegiate career with 2 years at San Jose City College. So Eric Bakich representing the 408. Pulls the string, swing and a miss, 1-2.
San Jose City College, definitely a top JUCO when it comes to sports. I had the pleasure of broadcasting for their basketball team over the years.
Fouled off.
A big shout out to the I family over there at San Jose City. Great people I've been able to work with.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Crichton. Curve starts upstairs and stays high. Erspamer says, man, that one slipped. 2-2.
His middle part of the order has struggled tonight for the Tigers.
It's been the bottom 4 that have done the damage. And the damage done by Erspamer here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for the freshman from San Clemente. Let's watch.
Yeah, well, this time, Erspamer was able to hit Crichton on the fastball. So, you just think about the textbook pitching that he showed. You go from an off-speed pitch to the cleanup hitter, and you be decisive and switch it up with going for more speed against the 5th hitter.
Well, now we start the part of the Clemson order that has done the bulk of the damage here tonight. Luke Gaffney in the 6th spot. Walked and scored in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the 4th. Facing Mike Erspamer. Off speed, 2-0.
Talk about producing without having to swing the bat. Whenever Gaffney finds his way on base, he's able to move over, pretty much be the table setter.
Outside corner called, 2-1. Earthbomber, a 2-inning save against the Arizona Wildcats back on February the 13th. Part of opening weekend. The 2-1. Tapped foul, 2-2. Part of a tournament that Stanford participated in down in Surprise, Arizona, down in the Valley of the Sun.
Always a fun one. You get to play at spring training facility. Gives you a little bit of a taste of what the majors could look like.
Fires a fastball down low, 3-2. And I'm told that baseball in the state of Arizona in February and into March is kind of a thing. I'm told it's kind of a deal down there.
Or of a religion, if you ask me.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Gaffney. Fouled back. Light starting to take effect here at Sunken Diamond. The sun has set well behind the foothills, behind the Stanford campus. And on the other side of those foothills is the Pacific Ocean. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Curveball tapped on a couple of hops. Bates to first in time for the out. Earthbomber, 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the 5th. Clemson still with a 3-1 lead here on ACC Network Extra. Bottom of the 5th, top of the order with Stanford coming to the plate. Clemson with a 3-1 lead over the Cardinal. So it'll be Sasaki, Tokheim, and Charlie Bates due up for Stanford on a gorgeous evening here on the place they call the Farm. Rentaro Sasaki stepping up to the plate. Rentaro's 0 for 2 so far. Fly out to second. And a strikeout looking in the 3rd. Facing Aiden Kanak, a Clemson starter, still in there. Pitch number 77 is dealt upstairs for ball 1. So 2 times through the order, Kanak has allowed 3 base hits and has struck out 6 and walked just 1. High and tight, 2-0.
Oh, the good news is for Stanford is that this is going to be their 3rd time seeing Kanak and starting to probably run out of gas a little bit here. That pitch count getting into the high 70s.
Strike called, 2-1. Knock deals, and this one is hit on a couple of hops to the shortstop, who's behind the second base bag. Lichtenberger to Crichton, one gone.
Well, Sasaki gets killed by the Sasaki shift. You have a middle infielder playing up the middle, knowing that Sasaki, even with him having a pull tendency as a hitter, he's more directional and trying to go more up the middle.
Teddy Tokheim singled in the third to extend his hit streak to 10. Might be looking for a bit more here as that drops down in right field for a base hit. Teddy Ballgame back on board, back-to-back singles for that young man. And he continues his torrid pace.
That bat just continues to stay hot for the man from the Emerald City. Teddy Tokheim able to send a nice base hit out to right center. There's got to be movement for the Cardinal if they want to make this a ball game.
Tokheim now in his last 10-plus games is batting .524 with 22 base hits in 42 at-bats. How's that?
I mean, he's almost having a chase the lauder kind of run. When you think about, in college ball, they're at the midway point of the season. Chase the lauder is only a week in.
Aiden Canuck trying to figure it out. He's down in the count 2-0 to Charlie Bates, who's 0 for 2 so far today. Fly ball to left. Savoy going back, drifting back, and making the catch on the track. So Bates gave that one a good ride. It came up just a little bit short. And that brings up J.J. Moran.
There was good lift on that ball there, and Savoy, playing a professional style left field, trying to measure for the wall, having his hand back, trying to track it down, and, just fell short. So, able to not have so much of a challenge in making the play.
J.J. Moran at the plate, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Bit of a chill starting to settle in just a little bit. It was 70 degrees when we began here. Should be a bit warmer tomorrow as that pitch catches the lower part of the zone for strike one. Flags are still out in center field. We've had a bit of a rustling breeze at times, but not much wind to speak of, at least none of any real consequence so far. No balls and one strike. Big swing and a whiff there, 0-2.
Well, maybe cooling off, but Canuck is heating up as this game goes on. He's pitching like he's got a hot date tonight or something.
No balls and 2 strikes. Runner bluffs, foul back to the screen. Well, I know the great radio play-by-play voice of the Clemson Tigers, Don Munson, has a hot date. He is a row behind us and on the other side of the dugout, on the other side of the press box, rather. His wife is on the trip. He actually hit at Pebble Beach yesterday. So
hey, there you go.
So Don might be checking his watch here a little bit as the evening goes along. Don's a good dude. No balls and 2 strikes. Got him. Swing and a miss as Canuck pulls the string and retires J.J. Moran. Another single by Teddy Tokheim, but that's all the Cardinal get. Through 5 innings, it's Clemson 3, Stanford 1. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Clemson leading Stanford 3-1. I'm Troy Clarity. He's Phillip Hall. He'll take you through the 6th and the 7th inning on a gorgeous night, and he will tell you about the 5th different pitcher being used for the Cardinal tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Troy. As that 5th arm coming out the pen for Stanford is going to be Torrin O'Haron, coming in with a 2-1 win-loss record and 18 2/3 innings of work on the season, but does carry a 2.89 ERA, so he's done a pretty good job at keeping runs off the board, at least at a premium. So O'Haron is going to look to keep this a 2-run game as Clemson, they've been able to hang in the fight, but haven't been able to pull away. That's going to be Jason Foltz Jr. to lead off for the Tigers. He's got a hit and a walk on the night. O'Haron with strike 1.
Foltz, a late replacement for Clemson here tonight, as Jay Dillard was originally supposed to get the start, but was scratched about 20 minutes before first pitch because of illness. So Foltz gets elevated into the starting role today.
0-2 was lined into right center field, and that one will get cut off out in center. But it's going to be a leadoff double for Jason Foltz Jr. So he'll deliver with his 2nd hit on the evening.
Yeah, Dillard might not be feeling too great, but Foltz is feeling just fine. Single, walk, and a double. Well, you know, I mean, they say, hey, be ready when you get your opportunity. You never know when it's going to come. And Foltz, who has started 12 games coming into this season, but still elevated on short notice. And he has really helped pace the Clemson batting attack so far tonight.
Talk about a guy that's been contributing to the pace batting attack. Ty Dally coming up for the 3rd time. Delivered with 2 consecutive RBI singles in his first 2 trips to the plate. Look for the appeal, but they say Dally held up, going to 2-0. That double that Foltz Jr. hit was only his 2nd one on the season in his 19 games played. 2-0 by O'Haron, missed way outside, goes to 3-0. See if Dally gets the green light to swing away. He'll take all the way. There's a ball high, and he'll get the walk.
And an immediate visit from Thomas Eager, who cannot be thrilled with this development after O'Haron allows a double on an 0-2 pitch. And those first 2 pitches that he threw to Jason Foltz Jr., very effective, very sharp, very precise, but then he gives up the double, and now he walks Ty Dally on 4 pitches. So I'm sure that Eager is eager to know how to get O'Haron back on track before Clemson puts some important potential runs up on the board in this game.
Yeah, Torrin O'Haron, a very experienced arm on the Stanford pitching staff, senior from Rockland, California, just about a stone's throw outside of Sacramento, the state capital. But he's been around long enough to know that, you know, it's all about trying to work well up and down the strike zone against a tough hitting team like Clemson. You know, he earned, you know, Stopper of the Year watch list recognition as a junior. So he's been known to be one of the premier stoppers in college baseball. So it's going to be Tyler Lichtenberger's turn at the plate for the 3rd time. He has walked and struck out. He's going to show the bunt. pull back.
O'Haron threw 2 scoreless innings in his most recent appearance at Virginia Tech. That was on the Sunday game, and struck out 3 along the way.
Once popped up, but Lavin not able to get to it quick enough.
In fact, O'Haron has not been charged with an earned run or any run at all over his last 4 appearances, accounting for 7 1/3 innings worth of work. Got a little bit of work to do to try to maintain that scoreless streak.
It's 1-1. Lichtenberger not able to square up on the bunt.
He's already struck out on a bunt once tonight before.
I get a time call here as Eric Backage is going to call over Lichtenberger and the base runners. You know, I mentioned about the history of Clemson baseball, and you think about some all-time notable alum. How about this one? Jimmy Key, who enjoyed a 15-year MLB career with the Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees, and the Baltimore Orioles. It's probably back in more in your day, Troy, but
hey, what are you trying to say?
Than mine. Nothing. But he was a 5-time AL All-Star. Was also on those back-to-back Toronto Blue Jays World Series teams in '92 and '93.
Yeah. Mike Flanagan on those staffs. Dave Stewart became a Blue Jay, of course, after his terrific career when there was a ball team in Oakland. Yeah, Jimmy Key. I haven't heard that name in a while. And it's okay. You can call me old. It's true.
It's all good. Well, I did my homework. You also think, too, Clemson do have a Golden Spike Award winner in their program history. That was Khalil Green, who earned the award in '02. Lichtenberger fouls off the 1-2. Of course, Khalil Green went on to have a 7-year MLB career with the Padres and the Cardinals. Yeah, Clemson, not only a program that has had success in winning, but also have had success sending guys to the show.
Yeah.
Even I got a battery made up in the majors, came out of Clemson. You know, Eli White and Spencer Strider on the Braves. Lichtenberger, ground ball to short. Bates will go to third as he's able to get the lead runner.
Smart move by Bates. Slickly handled, decisive, knew exactly where he wanted to go, and able to erase the lead runner at third. So crucial out there, but the lineup still turns over.
And Lichtenberger able to get to first on the fielder's choice. Still first and second. Tigers back to the top of the order for Bryce Clavon. First pitch, just a little off the dish there, out the hands of O'Haron.
Clavon from Stockbridge, Georgia. He actually chose the University of Georgia over Clemson coming out of high school. Now he's wearing the purple and orange.
Yeah, well, as mentioned, you know, Georgia over the years has become a hotbed of baseball talent. You know, you just think about how many guys from Georgia are on the show right now. Of course, for any A's fans, and I'm sure in Clemson, South Carolina, probably come across some Braves fans over there. You had 2 hometown guys meeting up, playing against each other, Lawrence Butler and Michael Harris. They had a chance to meet in Atlanta when the A's went on the road to play the Braves.
Yeah, I saw their ballpark site this morning. Looks neat. Great. Congrats, Vegas.
Well, it's bounced up the middle. Bates not able to get to it. He's going to squeeze into center field. This is going to allow Daly to score. Clemson able to get that run that they have been searching for to add on to the lead. It's now 4-1.
Boy, and that ball just kind of took forever to roll through the infield. Bates, you see his positioning there, just not quite able to get to that point. Of course, Gian holding at second. Racing around is Ty Dally, scoring his first run of the night. And Clavon, look, he's probably going to be thinking about that ball he dropped in center field all night, but a nice bit of redemption for him on that sequence.
Yeah, they say if you can't do it in the field, do it at the plate, and that is exactly what he did. Clavon takes off for second. The throw by Lavin just a little bit late. He's in there safely. But he gets the RBI single and the stolen base. A bang-bang play there at the bag, too.
His third stolen base of the year. Gives the Tigers 2 in scoring position here with 1 out.
Tristan McClatty looking at the first 2 pitches. Missed again for ball 3. That stolen base by Clavon takes away the double play chance that Stanford could have had.
Yep.
Three O's popped straight back, foul.
Clemson's fared well with runners in scoring position, hitting 3 for 8. Stanford 0 for 3.
Was it hard by McClatty? Oh, off the glove of Gian. Squirts in the shallow center field. It's going to possibly send everybody home. The throw to the plate. Clavon able to beat it. He'll still touch home. Clemson bring across 2 more. Tristan McClatty with the hard hit ball that Gian didn't have a clean play on.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe stumbled or just hesitated a bit as he tried to discern exactly how hard that ball was hit and where he might need to be when the ball got there. And that probably cost him just that little moment of hesitation, probably just cost him. And wasn't able to recover in time. And 2 across for Clemson on that swing of the bat.
So Torrin O'Haron getting knocked around here in this inning. 3 already across for the Tigers. Extending this lead now to 6-1. It's not over yet. Nate Savoy fouls it off as McClatty was trying to go for third on the stolen base attempt. I'll have to go back.
Well, and now the top of the order is starting to get momentum for the Clemson batting lineup. It's been the bottom 4 batters, and it still has been as they've started all of this. But now if Clavon and McClatty getting into the act, that has certainly helped the Tigers' cause.
Count goes to 1-1 for Savoy. So they scored that a single off the middle. 2 RBIs for McClatty. He was able to advance the second on the throw. Swung on a miss.
So O'Haron's best pitch right there. A little bit of movement, just kind of tumbled out of the strike zone. And Savoy tried to chase to no avail. Austin Steves, a sophomore lefty, is warming up in the bullpen.
Aaron's 1-2, missed high. Goes even now. Line score, 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Clemson, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for Stanford. Both teams have left 6 base runners on base. Speaking of bases, Tristan McClatty getting in with the stolen base there as he moves 90 feet from home. And Luke Lavin didn't have good security to try to throw him out. The count is full for Savoy. See if he can win the duel. The left side of the Stanford infield playing to the edge. Swing and a miss. Savoy chases the pitch high and out for strike 3.
Nice slider by O'Haron. Saw that on a couple of occasions. And uses that as his strikeout pitch to retire Savoy. Now that might be as far as O'Haron goes here tonight. As Eager is headed out to the mound and taking a look at the bullpen. And a change may be afoot.
Yeah, O'Haron did what he could do, but Clemson, they put together a big inning. This being an inning where they scored the most runs in an inning in this game. A long convo, not sure. Oh, change is going to be made even with the long conversation on the mound, as that will be the night for Torrin O'Haron. Stanford make a call to the pin, as they'll be bringing on now their 6th reliever in the game. It looks like it's going to be number 49 out there on the mound. That is Austin Steves. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to continue the top of the 6th. Austin Steves will come in and pitch for Stanford. Clemson have extended the lead, putting up 3 runs here in the top of the 6th to make it 6-1. Bryce Clavon delivered with an RBI single. Tristan McClatty drove in 2 on a single he hit. As it is, Tristan McClatty at third base with 2 out, and Jacob Jarrell now at the plate. A look at ball 1 from Steves. And popped up. And it's going to land right into the Stanford dugout. And we mentioned the foul territory that there is here at Sunken Diamond. I think Rentaro Sasaki, maybe if he was playing at the Coliseum, could have had a better chance for it. Gerald's 0 for 3 on the game. 1-1 missed in for ball 2. Here's count now for Gerald.
Steve's at Virginia Tech last Saturday, 2 1/3 with 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, a couple of strikeouts. That was his last outing. Sophomore from Petaluma.
Casa Grande High School.
Just hop on 101 from here, probably about maybe 75 miles or so north of here.
I believe, if I'm correct, that's where former major leaguer Johnny Gomes went to high school.
I believe so.
Payoff. Bounced over to third. Moran having to charge in on it. And he'll throw a strike to Sasaki to end the inning. Now Clemson ranked 3 across on 3 hits. As they extend the lead 6-1, we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Stanford going to have to do some work to get back into this game. It's Philip Hall and Troy Clarity with you here on the ACC Network Extra. Clemson now leads 6-1 over Stanford. They put up 3 runs in the top half of the 6th. It'll be Eric Gion to lead off for the Cardinal. And Aiden Kanak still out on the mound. Eric Bakich has definitely been impressed with what Kanak has been doing, and I think if things hold the way they are, this could be Kanak's chance to get his first win on the season.
Yep. 0-3 coming into tonight.
Gion takes that one high and in, and he'll wear it. Lead off the bottom of the 6th with the hit by pitch.
Well, last year, Kanak faced Stanford and had great success. Getting the start against the Cardinal on April 11th. 6 innings, gave up a couple of hits. That was it. A run that was earned, a couple walks, and 6 strikeouts, and got the win. One of 2 Clemson wins over Stanford in that series in South Carolina last year.
Well, he definitely has brought that prowess against Stanford here tonight, this time on the West Coast. Now it's going to be Court McDonald, 1 for 2 on the evening. Takes a hard hack, but catches nothing but the air for strike 2.
And we've seen a little bit of it all from Kanak as far as the toolbox and the pitching repertoire, the fastball, change, but perhaps his most effective strikeout pitch tonight has been the curve. And he's most known for his changeup. I think it's been his curve that has been his most lethal pitch so far tonight.
They got pickoff. Oh, actually, instead they call for the pitch clock violation. Goes now to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, this time McDonald was ready for that curve as Canuck uncorked it.
Oh, McDonald trying to fight. Here's the 2-2. Foul ball.
McDonald, a big moment last year, a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 12th to beat Wake Forest. That was a long night.
Oh, McDonald sends a shot deep to right field, and that ball is gonna go. Court McDonald gets his second home run on the season, a 2-run shot. And he's able to get Stanford back in this game with 1 swing.
And a mighty clout it was, and as soon as it left the bat, everyone knew that it was going to head into the trees. As Court McDonald, a terrific swing, just had it timed absolutely perfectly. Wait, hang on, is it gone? Yes, it is. Okay, now I can go into my home run trot.
Yeah, I think he had to see where it was going to land, but had the distance and the speed off the bat. 95 exit velo, and it went 350 feet over the right field wall.
He might have been the only one who didn't think it was going out.
Well, the elevation was there. 32.5 exit angle. That home run hit by Court McDonald just knocked Aiden Canuck out of the game. Well, Stanford will now make it a 3-run ball game. Going to see a new arm come out the bullpen for Clemson. So I'll give you the rundown of the new reliever coming in for the Tigers, as we'll take a quick break here in the bottom of the 6th. Well, the Stanford dugout is rocking after Court McDonald delivered with a 2-run home run to now make this a 3-run ball game in the bottom of the 6th. They're able to knock out Aiden Canuck from this game. So now coming in for Clemson, it will be Hayden Simerson. Hayden Simerson, junior right-hander out of Salisbury, North Carolina. He's a D2 transfer from Catawba College, where he was an All-American there, where he had 23 career saves. But Stanford looking to continue to make this a big inning, and they're going to need it, as it will be Tatum Marsh coming up.
Well, and Clemson has had an impressive bullpen for the most part this season. And Simerson certainly helping to pull his share of weight in those efforts. He got a save against the College of Charleston back on St. Patrick's Day.
Head against Marsh at 0-2, and Simerson on the season, this being his 10th appearance now. Comes in with a 3.46 ERA and just 13 innings pitched. Marsh, ground ball to short, picked up. They're able to make the throw. Littenberger with the putout.
So final line on Aiden Canuck, 5+, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk and 7 strikeouts in 95 innings pitched. So that in some senses ties him for his longest outing of the season. Did go 7+ on a few occasions last year.
So Luke Lavin takes the first pitch inside.
And Simerson looks like he's challenging dudes here early on.
And not one to shy away going after hitters. Lavin barely got a piece of that one. Of course, with Eric Backage getting guys from the portal, you know, Simerson at the D2 level was a dominant closer based on what he was able to do at Division II Catawba College, also in North Carolina. Swing and a miss on the fastball at 92. He does have a save this season. 1-2 taken high. And get this, he has an opponent's batting average of 130, and that is the lowest on the team. There's also being outside of the starting pitching staff. But granted, this is only in a handful of innings. Payoff to Lavin, called strike 3. Well, Lavin didn't like the call, trying to plead his case with Toby Bassner. He'll go down with the backwards K. 2 gone now for Stanford, as Ethan Hott will come up to the plate.
Yeah, Simerson trying to restore order after Stanford strikes with a 2-run shot, and looking impressive the first couple batters that he has faced.
So now at the 9-hole, Stanford lineup, Ethan Hott. Foul tips the first pitch. Hott 0 for 2 on the night, struck out looking and lined out to first. Popped up over on the first base side. Trying to run it down is Crichton, and he falls to his back, trying to make the catch. And the landing was not friendly, as McClatty coming up to help him out. Look back at the replay there. And Crichton might have slipped. It's him trying to catch the pop-up.
Yeah, lost his footing on the grass as he was trying to put on the brakes and maybe stop and come back to try to make the catch.
It looks to be okay. He's walking on his own power. Yeah, he can't deny the effort that was still made.
Well, and again, good on him for realizing, hey, man, there's a lot of foul territory in this ballpark. I better get on my horse and go over there and try to make the play. And he certainly got close enough to be able to make it. pretty much every other ballpark on this level, that's in about the fourth or fifth row.
Jack Crichton still getting checked up by the trainer. Looks to still be okay. He might just have the wind knocked out of him on the fall. Again, that's mostly grass and dirt, and you have to fall back on.
Well, how about this final from the women's basketball Final Four? As South Carolina beat UConn, which is a headline in itself, even though those are two of the top teams in women's college basketball. UConn certainly looked unstoppable for much of the year. But South Carolina beats UConn 62-48. Gino Auriemma was not a happy man afterwards.
Yeah, my jaw just dropped after you said that. I was like, what? UConn women's basketball lost the game?
They only scored 48 points. I think that's the bigger headline here.
Yeah.
South Carolina's really good. Dawn Staley knows what she's doing.
Oh, absolutely. Hot pops it up on the shallow right. The play much easier this time for Crichton, as they'll secure it for the third out. But Stanford do get some life going in the bottom of the sixth, thanks to the two-run home run hit by Court McDonald, his second downtowner on the year. It's now a three-run game. We're going to the seventh here at Sunken Diamond. Welcome back to the farm as Stanford were able to get two in the bottom half of the sixth off of the two-run home run from Court McDonald. As we go to the seventh now, Austin Steve still in the game, as it will be Crichton, Gaffney, and Fultz Jr. due up for Clemson.
When Crichton, after getting a bit bruised up in that last half inning, suddenly has to pick up a bat. Trying to keep it going for the Tigers.
Steve starting out about with a fastball in. Yeah, Jack Crichton, good thing for him to stay in the game, especially that hard fall that he took and trying to catch the pop foul. Trying to turn things around at the plate, though. 0 for 3. He struck out twice tonight. Breaking ball, yep. Beautiful by Steves, in for strike two.
Yeah, just shaved the outside corner.
The 1-2. Runs high and in.
A little bit more on that result from the women's basketball Final Four with UConn losing to South Carolina That stops UConn's win streak at 54 straight games.
Wow. Hey, you go up against the Gamecocks. It's going to be an uphill battle, but
Clemson fans, cover your ears.
Yeah. Of course, we know the South Carolina ties. One's flown out to right. Having to play it close to the line is Marsh. He'll backtrack and make the catch. Almost lost it in the night sky there.
So South Carolina, one half of the championship game to be played on Sunday. The other half still to be determined. As last score we got from Phoenix between UCLA and Texas, it's the Bruins on top of the Longhorns, 42-30 midway through the fourth quarter. Of course, the men's basketball Final Four gets going tomorrow in Indianapolis.
My heart's still broken.
Got a St. John's guy next to me here, folks.
Yeah, and then, add more salt to the wound. I got to see the rival UConn in there. Hey, Dan Hurley, try to go for
they're a good club, too.
Another title. Luke Gaffney, that was off the 1-0. Let me ask you this, Troy. How do you feel about basketball being played and stretched out into April, especially when you had baseball with opening day being all of last week, kind of cutting into the Sweet 16 Elite 8 calendar schedule?
If I had my way, they'd push the college basketball season back a month. And so the Final Four could go in May. And so you get a bit more eyeballs during the start of the season. Because, look, November, when the season begins, everyone's still in football mode. So I'd move it back. I'd move it back a month. And, of course, with the Final Four where it normally has been, it normally tends to butt heads with, opening week of the Major League Baseball season and all those sorts of things. You maybe put it in May, kind of hit a bit of a sweet spot between all the sports.
Gaffney is hit by the pitch for the second time tonight. That one probably felt a little bit more painful, though.
Well, he's been hit by 2 pitches, walked once, and has scored twice. So he's gotten on base. These guys behind him have helped knock him in.
Again, it's production without swinging the bats.
Yep. Yep. You'll take it if you can get it.
But to go back to your comment there as Jason Fultz Jr. comes up to the plate, do you think May's kind of dipping a little bit closer? It's like almost summertime. Kids are out of school by then.
Well, maybe that's another part of it, too, because it takes up the entire spring semester. I kind of have to talk differently here because Stanford is on the quarter system. The spring quarter here on the farm just began this week. But, hey, it takes up pretty much the entire spring semester. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, you're still in the meat of baseball season, and that's right around the time as well when, like you start talking about like these conference matchups, becoming, more interesting, especially with, seeding for the conference tournament coming up. Talk that conversation on what the field of 64 could look like for the regionals. I don't know. It's college sports is in a funny way these days, I will say.
That's a diplomatic way of putting it.
But, we always talk about schedule changes and, this sport should start later in this year or, start earlier. But that's how you look at it. I want smoked over at third off the glove of Moran. But how about Charlie Bates not giving up on the play, still getting the out at second to get Gaffney off the base paths.
Ho-hum, just your typical 5-6-4 put out. But that was a hot shot to Moran, but able to knock it down, and Bates right there on the spot. And a nice little stretch there at second by Eric Gian. Kept his foot on the bag, 2 away.
Yeah, definitely, good security and good backup. Ty Dally, who had 2 RBI singles in this game, is going to have to work A little extra harder if he wants to get Fultz Jr. home.
Well, and there's no doubt that Stanford's pitching has struggled, but at times it hasn't gotten much help from its defense. I mean, bad defense can make subpar pitching look even worse than it actually is. But plays like that can certainly keep you in the hunt.
And you think about this too, Troy. Most of these hard-hit balls that Clemson have hit tonight have mainly been in the infield. You know, the outfield have done what they could do with any ball hit in the air, but, you know, you talk about what's being done on the ground. Stanford's been keeping the Tigers honest.
Yeah, they've been hit hard on the infield. They've been hit hard to infielders as well.
The 1-2 to Dally, missed outside. Steve's 2-2. Breaking pitch misses away, so count goes full. Stanford infield on the shift on the right side. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Dally goes for the high heat. Not able to pay the order. Austin Steves keeps a runner on for the Tigers in the top of the 7th. As a stretch time here at Sunken Diamond, 6-3. Stanford back up to the plate. It'll be Sasaki, Tokheim, and Bates due up here in the bottom of the 7th for the Cardinal. Still trailing by 3. And here into the latter innings in the late night on the farm. Really recap how this game has been. It all started with Clemson getting on the board first. Ty Dally, who has 2 RBI singles on the night, delivered with the Tigers' first run. And then you had Stanford answer back, getting a run on an error committed by the center fielder for Clemson and Bryce Clavon. Clemson answered back in the top of the 4th with 2 more runs. And he went scoreless in the 5th, and Clemson put up a 3-spot. Bryce Clavon, Tristan McClatty contributing at the plate in the top half of the 6th, and then Court McDonald with a big swing on the night, 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. Sasaki going down on strike 3. Hayden Simerson able to get the K on the big man from Japan.
And Sasaki has his intriguing streak in jeopardy as he had scored a run in 9 straight games coming into today. That's in some question right now.
Teddy Tilkheim, who was able to keep his hit streak alive and his on-base streak as well, with a single in the 3rd. He also singled in the 5th.
Meanwhile, Simerson just does not back down at all. Now Stanford has moved to the top of the lineup.
And Tilkheim throwing off 2 pitches. Looked like they were in the same spot there. You know, this Stanford team, they've had their moments where late in games they've been able to find ways to get the clutch hits. And if there was a time to start thinking about how we're going to cut into this 3-run deficit, you know, this part of the order has the capability to do it. Tilkheim with a fly ball to right, but it's going to be caught by Daly. Played it straight away. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, Stanford has the bats. However, Clemson has the bullpen to prevent something like that from happening.
Hayden Simerson has going pretty good since coming out of the bullpen. Delivers the first pitch strike to Charlie Bates.
Of course, nightfall here at Sunken Diamond. It takes a bit more to poke the ball out of here at Sunken Diamond during the night. The air starts to thicken a little bit. You might get a bit of a marine layer. We do not have that right now. But the ball that Tilkheim hit to right would not have been out even during launch pad conditions, which can happen here at Sunken Diamond, especially during hot day games.
And now that home run by McDonald was off of pure muscle from the senior. That Texas power. The 0-2. Bates, fly ball out the left field. And just shy of the warning track is Savoy. He'll make the catch. Hayden Simerson retires 6 in a row since coming out of the pen to replace Kanak. Score stays 6-3. We go to the 8th. You're in the top of the 8th at Sunken Diamond. 6-3. Clemson still lead as have ourselves still quite a ball game. Stanford trying to cut back into it, but they're going to have to keep the Clemson bats quiet. As we're going to toss it back over to Troy Clarity, who will take you through 8 and 9.
All right, thank you, Philip. Appreciate you. 6-3 Stanford on the wrong end of the scoreboard. But Austin Steve still on the mound and facing Tyler Lichtenberger to start. Lichtenberger walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, hit into a fielder's choice, and came around to score in the 6th. That one's thrown right down El Camino Real. Counting's out 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 different pitchers used for Stanford tonight. Started with Andrew Shaw, then Cassius Thomas, then Nick Dugan, then Mike Ersbommer, Torno Heron, and now Austin Steves, who's ahead in the count 1-2 on Lichtenberger.
And Austin Steves has been doing pretty good and trying to keep Stanford close in this game. They just need the run support, but you know, this late inning bullpen action has been
heads up as that one is smacked back up the middle and through. 99 miles an hour straight off the bat and coming right back at Austin Steves. Heads up.
Yeah, Tyler Lichtenberger was trying to take Steve's head off there. That rocket back in the center field. It's the bottom of the order that's really been giving the Stanford pitching staff problems tonight. You know, it just goes to show if you have a lineup where you have the pop at the bottom,
yep,
that's where you could really win some games.
Yep. So Austin Steves faces just 1 batter in the top of the 8th, and he will give way to Ben Reimers, the 7th different pitcher used for Stanford here tonight. More on Ben in just a moment. 6-3, Clemson with the lead, trying to add on, top of the 8th. It's Ben Reimers on the mound now for the Stanford Cardinal. Ben, the junior from Aliso Viejo, California, 6'4", 222. And Reimers is on the mound for his 8th appearance of the year, a 10.57 ERA. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 9 runs, all earned, 9 walks versus 6 strikeouts. And opposing batters hitting .355 against Ben, who has also dealt 2 wild pitches and hit 3 batters. Clemson ahead 6-3. Leadoff single in the top of the 8th by Tyler Lichtenberger. Brings us back to the top of the order with Bryce Clavon. Walked in the 4th, singled, drove in a run, and scored himself in the 6th.
Yeah, and he's a long way removed from that error he committed back in the third inning, which gave Stanford the first run of the game.
And the first pitch plunks Clavon in the back. That's the third hit batsman by Stanford pitchers tonight.
Now, Bryce Clavon must have said a prayer to the baseball gods, as ever since that error, he has reached base 3 times and has even contributed to Clemson's 6-run total with a RBI single.
Yep. And by the way, actually no, the third hit batter by Stanford pitchers tonight. Nick Dugan plunked one, and Austin Steves got one as well. And they were both the same batter, Luke Gaffney, at different points of the game. Here's Tristan McClatty, 2-run single. That's looming larger and larger as this game goes on. First pitch, strike one.
That was a pitch that Reimers really needed. Had to get that strike across. The big dude, 6'4", 222.
Yep. That one is roped, snared by Gian. A quick throw to first in time for the out. Everybody else moves up 90 feet, but one away here in the 8th.
Good play there on defense. Eric Gian. Possibly could have been another run for Clemson if he didn't get to that one.
So Nate Savoy still looking for his first base hit of the night. He was robbed by Ethan Hott, who made an incredible diving catch to end the top half of the first. Reimers from the belt. Wicked break on that ball, rolls away from Lavin. Everybody stays put. One ball and no strikes. Just misses somewhere, 2-0. Reimers appeared at Clemson April 11th of last year. It didn't go well for him. He retired one batter, but was charged with 4 runs, all earned in the process. The 2-0. Fires a fastball, misses outside, and Savoy ahead in the count, 3-0.
Yeah, I think he might just give Savoy the bag here, try to set Stanford up for a double play chance.
The 3-0. And yep, there's ball 4. 6th walk issued by Stanford tonight. And that loads him up for Jacob Jarrell.
And well, talk about a roll of the dice. Reimers, he was more up in the strike zone in that at bat to Savoy. He's going to have to work low against Jarrell, who could really drive the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can get a ground ball here.
Jarrell with an infield single in the 3rd. Ball 1.
Nowhere to put him. Maybe a play at any base.
Clemson trying to break free here. Up by 3, top 8, bases loaded and 1 out. And the 6th consecutive ball issued by Reimers. Stanford bullpen starting to stir once again. Reimers exhales. Goes back to the mound. Two balls, no strikes. Ball 3 with nowhere to put Jarrell.
And there's this no love downstairs. All right, Toby Bassner. Reimers working low on his own as expected to Jarrell.
The 3-0. Low and outside, and that brings in a crucial run. 7-3, Clemson extending its lead. And that will in all likelihood do it for Reimers.
Yeah, just not what Reimers was hoping for coming out the bullpen. He just looks defeated, just knowing that he could have had a chance to getting the Cardinal out of there. The hill just becomes a lot more steeper now.
Tigers now up by 4. Bases are still loaded. And there's still just 1 out. With Thomas Eager taking some time. I believe that's Quentin Marsh warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinal. A freshman left-hander. Yes, he is Tatum Marsh's younger brother. Toby Basner, now the home plate umpire, finally out to the mound to eavesdrop on the conversation, maybe move some things along here a little bit. Perhaps Reimer's going to stay in here.
Yeah.
And he is.
Yeah, he's going to get one more go as going to see Jack Crichton. He's hoping that he can get a big out. Jack Crichton, it's like the borderline is once you get to that 5-6 hole in the Tigers lineup, Jack Crichton has been on the 0-4, at the halfway, like the top half of the Clemson lineup.
Yeah, Crichton 0 for 4 so far on the evening. And finally, after 9 consecutive balls, Reimers deals a strike, 1-1. That one's pumped in there, called strike 2.
Well, he's not taking too much off of the fastball.
One ball and 2 strikes to Jack Crichton. Tails outside, 2-2. Bases are loaded with Clavon at third, Savoy at second, and Gerald at first. There's Savoy, bottom of your screen. The 2-2. Now 3-2.
This is where Reimers can't lose Crichton. I'm not saying to take him lightly, but, this is the kind of battle that you need to win.
And he does. Got him looking on the outside corner.
Reimers able to win the duel that time, and Jack Crichton committing the baseball sin, striking out with the bases loaded. Never want to do that. I mean, that can make a coach crash out.
Here's Luke Gaffney. Looks at the first pitch, called strike 1. Gaffney walked and scored in the second, hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th, and hit by a pitch again in the 7th. Bases are still loaded. Clavon, Savoy, and Gerald. Off speed with a bit of a break. Foul tip, 0-2.
Reimers took a little bit off there on the breaking ball by Gaffney, and he's now making Gaffney swing the bat here.
Reimers ready. And off the fist, swats at it. Just staying alive. Gaffney sizing things up, stepping back in the box, and away we go. Bases loaded, 0-2 with 2 out. The pitch. On a chop, back up the middle and through. Clavon scores. Savoy scores. And Clemson adds on 2 more. 9-3, Tigers lead.
Well, fair to say, Luke Gaffney, he had a chance to swing the bat this time at the plate. And he's able to deliver there, textbook hitting. You send it right back up the middle, and he had 2 more on for your team.
Gaffney comes through, and Jason Fultz Jr. comes to the plate. Fultz, the late replacement, after Jay Diller wasn't feeling well enough to compete tonight. But Fultz has done quite well. A couple of base hits and a walk as well. Ouch. And you could hear Fultz yell out a bit in pain once that pitch made contact. Well, and this is not a sight that the Tigers want to see. They've already seen it with Jaron Purify, who was a terrific batter for Clemson this year with 10 multi-hit games. He was hit by a pitch against Notre Dame on March 21st, and that pitch broke his hand. And so he's been on the shelf since then. Now they're taking a look at Fultz.
Yeah, I think when the ball made contact with Fultz, I think might have heard some metal as well. So I think it not only didn't get his hand, but might have also got some of the bat, which really is no bueno. Like, Fultz is going to be okay, though.
And that loads him up once again. Reimers has hit 2. And this is the 9th batter in the top half of the 8th for Clemson. And Ty Daly, who has not dallied so far tonight, with a couple of RBI singles. Also walked and scored. Fastball perhaps a bit low for ball 1. By the way, happy Saturday to our friends who might be watching back in upstate South Carolina, as it's past midnight in the Eastern time zone. The 1-0. Outside, 1-1. Check that 2-0.
Well, something they're going to have to start to get used to. Watching their Clemson teams.
Yeah.
Or these West Coast swings.
Misses inside, 3-0. Quentin Marsh continues to warm in the Stanford bullpen. Nowhere to put Daly. The 3-0. Skied. Shallow center. Hot comes in, settles underneath, and makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. But Clemson brings across 9 batters. 3 of them come around to score. 9-3. Tigers lead the Cardinal. Bottom of the 8th in just a moment on ACC Network Extra. Bottom of the 8th inning here on a Friday night on the farm. Clemson certainly enjoying themselves to this point, as the Tigers have extended their lead. It's now 9-3. If this result holds, then Clemson and Stanford will both have identical 3-7 marks in the ACC. And it's Certainly nothing to throw a parade over if you're Clemson, but at this point, you're just looking for wins, and so is Stanford.
Yeah, this ACC conference just makes you scratch and claw because anybody in this conference could win ball games. Doesn't matter who you're going up against. You know, it takes one good weekend for the season to get turned around.
Yep. Hayden Simerson still on the mound for the Clemson Tigers. He's been impressive in now 2+ innings worth of work. Drops a curve down in for a called strike 1 on J.J. Moran, who is 0 for 3. Georgia Tech across the bay today took care of the Cal Bears 7-2. Cal is 16th out of 16 in the ACC standings. Curve again, strike 2.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for the Golden Bears this season. You know, they had that lengthy losing streak, which put them in the basement of the ACC, and that's a place that I'm sure no team wants to be in right now.
Nope. 1-2. The marquee series of the week in conference, Florida State versus Virginia. A couple of top 10 teams knocking heads. Virginia won round 1 last night. Florida State even things up with a 5-2 win over the Hoos in Charlottesville tonight. Fouled off, heads up, over the marketing table off to our right. Count stays at 1-2.
And I'll say this about Florida State. You know, they're having a bit of a rough patch right now, especially losing Miles Bailey for the rest of the season. That horrific injury he had in the series against Duke. You know, Florida State, at least the good news for them, they haven't really dwelled on that, but, you know, a big loss for the Seminoles for the rest of the season. Of course, over Miles Bailey, we hope for a speedy recovery. We can come back next year.
1 ball and 2 strikes to J.J. Moran.
Speaking of which, Florida State is going to be here on the farm in a couple of weeks.
Yep. The 1-2. Just nicked back to the screen. And staying alive. Count remains at 1-2. Stanford hosting Florida State. Final weekend of the month. April 24th, 25th, and 26th.
And before that, they're going to welcome the Hurricanes. So you got 2 Florida teams making the West Coast trip.
Did he go around? Nope. Held up. It was ruled by Darren Hyman, first base umpire. 2-2.
Of course, for your Stanford, you definitely need to get wins against those teams. You know, Florida State.
If you're Stanford, you need to get wins against anybody.
Oh yeah, obviously.
High fly ball. The center will stay in the park. Clavon barely has to move and makes the chin-high catch.
Yeah, well, like in the case of gaining ground, to at least get a middle seed before the ACC tournament, you know, that series against Miami, Florida State is going to be very crucial. And then, you know, before that, you do have the road weekend series at Louisville. So, you know, racking up some wins against a lot more fiercer competition is going to be a necessity for the Cardinal.
Of course, they'd love to figure out a way to take care of business here this week. Eric Gian, the batter. Gian with the leadoff single back in the 4th. Nothing came of that for Stanford. Was hit by a pitch to lead off the 6th inning. Later it came around to score on Court McDonald's 2-run mash into the trees in right field. Yeah, so Stanford at Louisville next weekend. Then home to the Miami Hurricanes. Then closing out the month with an ACC series against Florida State. This is all conference action, by the way. There are a couple of midweek games involving Santa Clara along the way. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Gian. Stanford heads out to Notre Dame first weekend in May. I got to tell my man Tyler Guyvette about Rocco's in South Bend. Great Italian spot. They take good care of you. I get the nod from TG. Gian way in front of it, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Speak on Notre Dame for a little bit. A guy that actually started his collegiate career at St. John's, but played his 5th year at Notre Dame. David Glancy, you got to give a shout out to him. You know, he tore it up in the Fighting Irish uniform in South Bend to close out his collegiate career.
Fly ball to right. Daly ranges over and makes the catch for out number 2.
Texted him tonight, let him know I was going to be on the call. So, DG, if you're watching, you know, love you, brother. You know, he's playing indie ball right now on the East Coast, so wishing him well for his upcoming season.
Well, here's Court McDonald. McDonald with a Big Mac of a home run back in the 6th inning. His 2nd of the year. Simerson fires a fastball. And this is inside for ball 1. Simerson has retired all 8 batters that he has faced. Drops it down here as that pitch just kind of tumbled out of the zone and fell off the table, 1-1. Notre Dame, by the way, lost to NC State today, 7-3. That one's in there, called strike 2. Duke beat Louisville 10-8. A couple of ranked teams tangling in Chapel Hill, with North Carolina getting the 5-2 win over BC. Low and outside, count goes to 2-2. Wake Forest, a final over Pitt, 8-2. And Miami of Florida just harassing the Hokies and winning that one, 19-1. 2-2 to McDonald. Some ACC series began yesterday. They're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Others, like this one, are going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sure to accommodate Easter Sunday coming up. The 2-2. Slow tap to second. And the side is retired. Hayden Simerson has been effective, challenging hitters early on and not allowing anyone to reach. He's retired all 9 batters that he has faced. We move to the top of the 9th inning with Clemson ahead 9-3. Ninth inning begins here at Sunken Diamond. Clemson ahead 9-3. And the competitive collegiate career begins for the new pitcher for Stanford, David Weiser. There he is, a freshman from Elk Grove, California, just outside of Sacramento. A 6'3" righty making his collegiate debut. And he'll be throwing to the catcher, Nolan Stoll. Stoll, a freshman from Stevenson Ranch, California, appearing in his 11th game this season.
How about that? David Esker having to go deep into the bullpen tonight, even with this being a 6-run deficit, but gives the Stanford fans a first look at David Weiser.
And the first batter that he faces is Tyler Lichtenberger, who singled and scored to begin the 8th inning. Weiser is the 8th different pitcher for Stanford tonight. The 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Weiser graduated from Bradshaw Christian High School up in the 916 area code. 2-time All-Sierra Valley first team. Fires this one, foul tip, 0-2. Or check that 1-2.
And Weiser won a couple of league titles up at Bradshaw Christian. You know, being a top right-handed pitcher from the Sacramento area, being a top righty in the state of California.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lichtenberger standing back in. Opposite field, fouled off. Andrew Shaw got the start for Stanford tonight. Went 1 2/3. It seems like that was 7 hours ago. Heck, 7 hours ago, I was still in Las Vegas. 2-2. Lifted deep to right, but heading foul. And off into the Stanford bullpen. The count stays at 2-2.
You know, David Weiser getting battle hardened here. A bit of a scare off the bat of Lichtenberger on that swing.
Swing and a miss. And David Weiser strikes out the first batter he faces on the collegiate level. He gets a nice little cheer from the dugout in the process.
Love seeing that, just pound the fastball at 91 right across, and Lichtenberger got underneath that one. But hey, you know, you always remember your first, and when you get the first one down, it makes life a lot more easier.
Yeah. And a chance for David to put some stuff on tape to give Thomas Eager and David Esker, the coaching brain trust, some things to think about. As Clavon swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Clavon walked in the 4th. RBI single, came around to score in the 6th, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the 8th. And look, let's face it, as Weiser, with a little bit of movement there, catches the outside corner. I think it's pretty clear right now for the Stanford pitching staff, every single role right now is totally up for grabs. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing.
100%. I mean,
the 0-2.
The way that these games have gone for the Stanford bullpen, you know, guys are now in the position to fight for innings for the rest of the year. Yeah. There is no question about it at all. And I think with especially these young guys, you know, they are going to be fighting tooth and nail for innings.
Fouled off, giving chase Sasaki, but that lands in around the 3rd row behind the Stanford dugout.
But I feel like with any college program, it doesn't matter if you're winning in the middle or under 500. Every day, every game that you play, you're fighting for at-bats, you're fighting for innings, you're fighting for time in the field. It doesn't matter. Like, and if you have that mentality, that's what really gets a team going.
Laced down the right field line, opposite field once again, bouncing into the Stanford bullpen. And look, that's how it should be. I mean, you would prefer that it not be, as we consider this in the context of the Stanford pitching staff, you would prefer that it not be under these type of circumstances where you're just looking for anybody to be consistently effective. But that's as it should be overall. The 1-2. Just misses just a bit low, 2-2.
And, that can motivate you as a player, having to come every day just knowing like, oh, man, like my bats could be taken away tomorrow, or I might not get penciled in if I don't come correct.
Tag to short, right to Bates, 2 away.
Charlie Bates, he's a guy that I'm sure fights for at-bats and time in the field every single day he comes to the field. Grabbing that line drive from Clavon. Yeah, he's been having great defensive awareness tonight. You think about for Clemson, we talked a lot about Stanford's upcoming schedule, but for Clemson, the hill is steep for them as after this weekend in the Bay Area, when they go back home to Clemson, they're going to see North Carolina.
McClatty hits that one to left, and the side is retired. David Weiser goes 3 up, 3 down in his collegiate debut.
Yes, sir.
Now, can the Cardinal plate 6 at least in the bottom of the 9th? Let's find out together. Stick around. Clemson with a 9-3 lead over Stanford. Bottom 9th, straight ahead. Comes down to the bottom of the order for Stanford here in the bottom of the 9th inning, with the Clemson Tigers leading 9-3. It's been a fantastic evening and night for baseball, and that man's been fantastic out of the bullpen. Hayden Simerson came on in the 6th inning after Aiden Canuck, the Clemson starter, gave up a 2-run shot to Court McDonald. And since then, Stanford has gotten nothing. Simerson's retired all 9 batters that he has faced. Tatum Marsh will try to reverse that trend, but he looks to strike 1 on the outside corner. Marsh was hit by a pitch in the 2nd.
Yeah, I'll try it. Not sure if you're up with the Gen Z lingo, but for Hayden Simerson, the kids would say that he has shoved tonight on the mound. Retiring.
Shoved?
Yep, shoved. Retiring 9 straight Cardinal hitters.
Okay.
So.
Learn something new every day. The 0-2. Off the fists, ranging over, Lichtenberger. 1 gone. Shoved?
Again, hey, I asked if you're up on the lingo.
No, I'm not. Come on. No way in the world. I'm not that cool. I never was. Here's Nolan Stoll, who came in as a defensive replacement for Luke Lavin. Stoll hitting .267. And he clangs that one into right center field for a base hit. That one's rolling to the wall. And Stoll rolls in with a stand-up double. Stanford's first base runner since the 6th inning. Well worth another look.
And Nolan Stoll, fresh off the Charger Able to put a charge into that one in the gap. Trying to spark a little bit of ninth inning magic if Stanford can keep it going.
Stoll, a freshman from Stevenson Ranch, California, getting on base. And look, Stanford's in the position right now where they just need guys on base.
Absolutely. They had chances to. You look at the line score. They've only left 6 men on, but that's with the lack of traffic that they haven't been able to produce.
Ethan Hott looks at strike one. Hott is 0 for 3. And his streak of reaching in 9 consecutive games is in danger. Soft pop-up behind the first base bag, and Stanford's down to its final out.
Semerson staying rock steady.
O'Connor and Taro Sasaki extend the game.
Yeah, one rule and one rule only. Don't have yourself be the last out. Talk about what motivates a college player when it comes to playing time. This is what motivates you to keep your team in the game.
1 ball and no strikes to Sasaki, who is currently 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. Nolan Stoll, bottom of your screen. He is at second with a double. Fastball inside, 2-0 to Sasaki, who still has that streak alive as of right now of scoring a run in 9 consecutive games. Has hit 5 home runs over the last 10 games. Coming into this series, the 2-0. Drops the curve in there, 2-1.
Yeah, Clemson pitching staff have figured out Rentaro Sasaki tonight. Handing him 2 strikeouts and keeping him off the base paths.
Foul back, 2-2. Breaking stuff running in on Sasaki. Let's see what they do here with a 2-2 pitch. Simerson off speed upstairs, and the count now full. Runner at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Clap to second, and the throw over the first in time for the out. And that's your ball game. The Clemson Tigers chipping at the Stanford Cardinal, push 9 across and get in the win column to begin this series. The final score, Clemson 9, Stanford 3. Clemson now 20-11 on the year. Stanford falls to 13-14. Both teams now tied at 3-7 in ACC play. Clemson is back in the win column after dropping back-to-back games heading into this one, while Stanford is back in the loss column after its win to close out its series last week against Virginia Tech. Aiden Kanak gets the win, his first of the season, 5+. Effective throughout much of his outing. Struck out 7, walked just 1. Really, he made just one mistake, the 2-run home run by Court McDonald in the 6th inning. Outside of that, Kanak on point for much of the game, and Hayden Simerson retiring 12 of the 13 batters that he faced. Clemson doing Clemson-like things when they need to do what they need to do to win. And unfortunately for Stanford, they've done Stanford-like things, mostly on the mound, that caused them to be on the wrong end of this score.
Yeah, it was a well-played ball game by the Clemson Tigers, and definitely a confidence booster for Eric Bakich. Just with the strategy that he put out, just knowing that his hitters looked a lot more confident at the plate. Just coming into this series, knowing what a struggle has been on the mound for the Cardinal, but for Clemson, it just it just really came down to hitting in the right moments.
Yep.
You know, they had quality at bats the entire night, and they were able to have traffic on the base paths. And for Stanford, you know, they've now had a taste of what the Tigers can bring when it comes to their pitching. You know, it was a well-pitched game by Aiden Canuck, and, you know, that first win that he's been in search for, he'll get it. But, man, you know, again, I talk about a guy shoving. Well, that's what Canuck did. So he shoved tonight for the Tigers, and same goes for Hayden Simerson getting the save, and, you know, quite a save that he was able to get. You know, having to pitch the last three and a third or so innings, you know, just to get it. But for Stanford, they're going to hope to come back tomorrow and try to turn things around at the plate. That's really what they had to do tonight. And, you know, it's just up to what can they adjust when it comes to trying to produce quality at-bats to try to get wins against a team that's trying to fight much harder to climb up the ACC.
9 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Clemson. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for Stanford. Teddy Tokheim, 2 for 4. He does extend his hit streak to 10 consecutive games. He's also now reached in 20 consecutive games. Ty Daly with a couple of RBI. Tristan McClatty just 1 for 6, but he knocked in 3 runs along the way. Another struggling night by and large for the Stanford pitching staff as they hit 4 batters and also issued 7 walks versus 8 strikeouts. So the Cardinal and the Tigers will renew hostilities once again tomorrow. Your probables for tomorrow's matchup: Sam Garwal for Stanford is in line to get the start, and he will likely face for the Clemson Tigers Michael Sharman. So that could be a very intriguing matchup that, Philip, you and I will bring to the folks here tomorrow afternoon. So we will see you. We will take the air at 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern, right here for Game 2 of this series between Stanford and Clemson. On behalf of our fantastic ACC Network Extra crew, my broadcast partner Philip Hall, I'm Troy Clarity. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and accomplish greatness. 9-3 the final. Clemson in the win column.